hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Ginger Prime, baby. Smash that like button, we're gonna have some fun. I'm making this up at the shot of a gun. I don't know what I'm gonna say next. You never know when you join live, that's a fact. Oh, you can skip ahead if you want to. If you're watching this in the archive, say how do you do. I'm making this up as I go along. Give it up for the makeup song. Oh. What's going on, peanut butter jelly time? What's up, guys? Hey. How y'all doing this Friday night, guys? This is Ginger Prime. And tonight, we're going to be trying some Heaven on High. Russian. Joined by my friend Benny from Comic Story and Tiny Blue Games. If you're not following this man, gotta give a shout out to Tiny Blue Games. We gotta get you back on the podcast, man. Not meaning to invite you publicly, but I gotta say, you are one freaking awesome dude. I am a little bit of drinking because I hurt my neck because I'm getting old. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw those, they were like playing the frog theme, man. I love some Japanese representation in the Olympic Games, baby. Good, dude. We got to get you back. It's been far too long, man. It's been far too long. How you been tonight, Tiny Blue? Guys, if you're not following Tiny Blue Games, please do so. If you're here with us live today, dude, just click his name on it in chat. We'll go from there. Man. Nice. I'll fire up the call. Just hanging out. Fun. Listening to some beats on the tubes. All right, I'm going to pin what's going on for the beard. Brian Morris, how you been, bud? Funkmaster B in the hizzle. Let's just... You know what's up, I'm gonna sound peanut butter jelly time, it's on what's coming down. There you go. Oh, roll it back. Ow! I just slow bow. Bow now. Bow. A big bow wow. Yeah. Oh man, I'm really gonna confuse the hell out of anybody who watches this archive. And be like, what the F? Tonight we got a 4-man pre-made, so we're not gonna be opening it up to just general chats. There's just gonna be 4 of us tonight. However, we'll be doing more community game nights Fridays. And then as kind of the world settles back, or we kind of settle back into a new routine or new rhythm, that's gonna be what's going on. Dude, honestly, like, I love your stuff, Tiny. Mysterio's got a joke. Final Fantasy XIV, a Warcraft Reborn. Yeah. Feels that way. Yeah. That's my contribution to the hip hop art scene. I just come in with a yeah. Drop it like it's hot. You know, I'm a summoner. Tonight I'm a white mage. That's right. I'm white and I'm a white mage. A little bit on the nose. Summoner. Let it rip. Oh, very happy to help Byron with that, dude. Bow. Oh man, feel good. Like 2 hours ago, like my neck was so stiff. It's like, oh, good Lord. Because like if y'all hung out for the podcast, like, you know, at the end of it, like I just had this insane coughing spree. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I just hurt myself. Maybe I should have stuck to the yeah. Yeah. Oh no, you get nothing but the high quality cringe. Nothing but the high quality cringe. Brought to you by, what would be a cringy sponsor? What would be the chat? What would be the cringiest sponsor of them all? Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. It's a true story. They keep reaching out. I have I've turned down every sponsorship from them so far. When the number keeps growing and growing. I have to tell you, they must be making bank off that game. Dude, I would totally plug Wendy's. They used to have like what they call the Texas double cheeseburgers, like a 99-cent, you know, like double cheeseburger. Like, yeah, obviously little thinner patties, but man, I thought that was the best. Yeah, dude, Raid Shadow Legends, man, they have some sweet deals. What's going on, Benny?
What's going on up in the Ginger Prime house?
What? Oh man, dude, I've had a couple beers. I coughed.
Go get a whiskey.
I need one. I coughed so hard today. This is like, how's it feel getting older? Like I coughed so hard today. I was like, my neck is stiff. And then I was like, all right. I guess the old joke is like you swallowed a Viagra and got stuck halfway down. But it's like, I was like, all right, I got to get some beers in me. So I'm a little bit into it. I've been rocking some of the stream beats. They just had the 100 Thieves collab. So I've been just listening to that.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. So Harris Heller from Alpha Gaming. He's also kind of a musician. I guess that like when I kind of was like getting caught up with his whole content schedule. Like I think he came from like doing music and streaming gaming, and so he's kind of blown up. And so he's got Stream Beats, which is like free to stream and listen to for YouTube music, which I think is really where the industry is going to go. And he just did a collab with 100 Thieves, you know, in that regards, and it's kind of called Hype Track. So I'm listening to that right now. And then
I'm just debating if I should swap back over to YouTube because I can go live there and get viewers, but no one knows I'm gonna be here tonight.
YouTube is such a low stress streaming experience.
I get so much. Like I'm on Twitch for an hour. Nothing against you guys who came over to Twitch on my side already. I've been here for the last hour to give people time to come into the stream, and like I'm hitting like 50, and I'm like, that's so low, and it's gonna damage my numbers so much. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hate you. You guys are awesome, Flashpool. You guys are awesome. Everyone else sucks.
Twitch is driven off the schedule. Like that's the thing you said, and it just resonated with me so much.
Yeah. I have so much more fun with YouTube just because I can go live whenever the hell I want, do what I want, and okay, I'm getting tired, guys, gonna go. You know?
Yeah. We've got a running theory that with YouTube, like that they're almost ready to pull like a real big update. And I was talking with somebody about this today, and it was like basically why they dropped gaming, YouTube gaming, that kind of whole subsection, is because they realize live streaming is more than just gaming. And I hope that essentially, because I've seen a lot of people start to make their way back to YouTube for streaming, and I honestly feel like it's a couple of features away from being a real option for like full-time streamers, but just a better option for streaming. And they brought in polls, they brought in like live redirect, but it's still not like completely ready. So I'm just kind of feeling like I wonder if they're really going to get serious about live streaming in the next like 12 months.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You guys talking about YouTube or?
We're talking about YouTube versus Twitch.
Yes.
And Shailene says, VTubers are making it big on YouTube with streaming. I think VTubers is such an interesting idea because in a way it can preserve like anonymity, but also it can also
I feel very strongly against most VTubers.
Go ahead. Yes.
Most.
Give me the VTuber anti-rant. Let's do it. Let's make history.
Okay. Well, my biggest issue, and I'll end my Twitch stream over here probably and go check it out how the numbers will do on YouTube of Final Fantasy. Because I did Avengers earlier and got 90 viewers out of the blue over there with no prep.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm kind of curious about test-wise. It's not that I'm inherently against VTubers. What I'm against is the fact that it's a low barrier for entry. So everyone and their brother has decided that they're going to be a VTuber.
Okay.
Like it used to be, if you wanted to be a streamer, you needed to get, you have to get proper lighting, get proper equipment. You got to be able to handle yourself on camera. You got to be able to have a conversation. And now I've met so many people whose answer is, well, I don't want to be on camera, and I don't want to get ready for camera, and I don't want to deal with all the. So I'm just gonna buy this $10 face rig that's garbage, and I'm gonna be a VTuber now. Like. They put zero effort into it. It's like one little GIF going back and forth. It's nothing. And they're like, but I'm a VTuber. And I'm like, that's the most low effort thing I've ever seen in my life.
Have you seen Work to Games content schedule?
But what I'm saying is like, I don't know, it just irritates me because it's so low entry. And I can already tell people go, oh, well, you're just jealous. I'm not at all. Because the people who make it as VTubers actually put work into their rig. What I get irritated by is there's so many people that are low effort, 3 viewers, they paid $10 for a garbage face rig, all because of some stupid reason. And at the end of the day, they're diluting the waters for the people who actually are putting effort into that project and that style. And that's why I'm very much against the garbage face rig people, you know.
Anti-garbage face rig.
I hope my reality is not a garbage face rig person.
It's like, ooh, this is awkward. Tonight I'm VTubing. I paid $10 for this.
Did I ever tell you when I did that by mistake? There's a reason why ESO will never invite me back to be in the creator program. Let me tell you that story when I switch this over to YouTube, though.
Okay, so yeah.
Everyone watching me on Twitch, I'm going to close it here because I want to test numbers on YouTube. That's actually what I wanted to do, both back and forth. So I'll see you over there in a minute. Okay, guys?
See you, Twitch.
Bye-bye.
See you, Twitch. I like,
I love my little anime guy that does over-exaggerated fishing, and it did not cost me $10. It was $12.99, so he can go suck it.
I think it's such a fascinating concept.
Also,
I think it's such a fascinating concept because, like, I look at this as, let me just, I guess play the dad card, and let's say my girls wanted to stream. Like, there's a reason you guys don't see them as a part of my content because my kids aren't my content. I am a dad, but that doesn't necessarily that defines my content. It's just information that makes at least you hopefully understand where I'm coming from whenever filtering out whether my opinion matters or you can discount it. But I honestly look at it from just that perspective. If my girls want to make content, there's now this opportunity to do so without having to physically put themselves out there and put themselves at risk.
I agree with that, and there are benefits to VTubing. I'm not inherently just against it across the board.
Yeah. It's the cheap ass $10.
Well, okay.
No, the thing that irritates. Okay, so I created a form of content where we basically did the audio dramas for comic books. Right, that's how I started my whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you'd have people come in and they try to be like, "Hello, today I'm gonna read a comic book." And it's the cheap, half-assed versions that dilutes my content with their garbage. That's not to say they can't do it right. I don't mind competition. But it's when you cheapen it is what irritates me.
Okay, so what you're telling Brian is he needs to save up $13,000 for the Code Miko rig, so that way that comes through. So that way it looks amazing, but then you also get the anime. Gotcha. Good luck with that, Brian. Have fun saving up for that.
I have faith that Brian will do it.
If I wanted to, I'd make it happen. Not I was talking about this because people always ask Brian, would you go full-time content creator? And I have continually replied, not not like, no, I just don't see that right now. Like my kids go off to college. Like if I went to today and told my wife, like, this is what I want to do. I want to just make content full time. She would support me, like hands down. That's the kind of a person she is. She is like a rock. But at the end of the day, I got kids. They're young. I'm like, all right, like there's a lot of expenses that I know are on the horizon. You know, like, all right, no, like I don't need that level of stress in my life.
I do this full time, but there's a shit ton of stress that comes with this.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And like your level is so much above anything that I've seen, but there's still interesting playing grounds because within comics, like when you look at the different like sections and communities, because you're like with Absolute, guys, if you're not following Absolutely PlayStation and Steam games, you got to. I'll make sure that I put the link in there. Oh, dude, you guys are putting out great work out there. But like that being said, it's like comics, like there are crossovers, but at the same time, it's like I'm the problem. Like Brian, am a problem because it's like I go to a restaurant and I order the one thing. It's the same relationship I have with channels. It takes like an enormous effort from the creator to get me to check out like another style of something that they do, right? Because it's like, wait, this isn't what I subscribe for. Like, what is this? And I'm guilty of this. Like I continually push back against that. I've been covering New World like crazy, and thankfully it's not hurting the channel yet. I'm waiting for that comment saying, Brian, like I subscribe for your Final Fantasy content. I keep seeing all this New World stuff. I'm out. I'm like, and I got to respect that. Like, I'm like, all right, man, like Final Fantasy content's going to be coming. It's just right now, like, you know, I'm excited about X, you know, or something like that.
I've got it to the point now. By the end of the year, I will officially have 6 channels I'm working on. So I'm at a point now where I'm debating, like, can I get more out?
Yeah.
Because what I've realized is when you just make a channel that's super focused on content and you get a team to help you out with it, it's very feasible to do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if the channels don't work, I'm just going to drop them. I do want to say something real quick for my chat now that I'm live on YouTube and for you. I thought you said we were running with your wife. So when my realty jumped in and did not sound like your wife, I was very surprised.
Well, I've never really said this publicly, you know.
and if
I just
that is
sound
your
like
wife,
a dude over the internet just for anonymity reasons and all that.
Yeah, we have to protect her voice.
Yeah, I apologize then if I've now.
Hey Brian, who is this guy? Why is he making fun of me? Why aren't you defending me right now?
So I'm in trouble now.
What up, Corey? I do remember you. Why is everyone asking if I remember them? Is that a meme that I'm missing out on?
Hit me with your link for your live stream so I can drop it into the description so people can also, if they want to go and watch you guys as well, see your gameplay.
Oh, see, I love this. See what I do. I had this channel that I've had since the dawn of time, and I just use it as my dumping ground to just do whatever. No, I do whatever I want with it. Like everyone's like, oh, what about this? Are you gonna like? Why don't you do this thing or this thing? This channel had a focus forever ago. People watched it, they enjoyed it. It died out, and now I literally call it my shit grounds. It's my shit posting. You're gonna get me doing a stream of Final Fantasy. You're gonna get me doing like a Dungeons and Dragons like game. You're gonna get me doing this weird thing where I goof off on Fortnite, and I don't care because I'm having so much fun just making content. What is going on, Chris?
And Chris has made it into the chats.
Your dog is terrifying.
Chuck is amazing.
But he's got devil horns.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris.
And for the record, I know I call this my shitty grounds, but thank you everyone who comes to my shitty grounds.
I got him up. Thanks for we got 6 likes over on Benny's stream right now. Guys, smash that like button if you're on Benny's stream. We got 9 likes. We can do a like off.
Okay, let me go make it old fashioned and use the bathroom real quick.
Oh yeah.
I'll be good to
Oh
go.
yeah. You gotta. Yeah. That's how you climb a tower.
I had like a full raid team size family come in and order a smoothie digitally right before me. So they walked in after me, but their smoothies were being made.
Why would you allow this to be a thing?
So I did text Brian. I was like, something to look forward to, buddy. When you get to order more smoothies than they can make on the number of machines they have at one time.
Where did it go?
Smoothie King. It's Friday, man.
I don't know what a Smoothie King is.
They do discounted smoothies on Fridays. It's like a Smoothie King. They're like a smoothie store. They just make
Effing
smoothies. That's all they
boomer,
do.
man.
I'm the boomer.
like a Jamba Juice or
What was it? Orange, orange, like an orange Julius or
Like
something?
Orange Julius.
ESO won't work with me as a content creator.
Yeah, nobody needs to poop themselves tonight. Sarah says it's high school again. Professional level voice changer. I had a couple of beers. Like I was telling Benny when he got on before you got on, Chris, is like I had a coughing fit, and it was just like one of those just painful ones. And then I was like, gosh, my neck is stiff. So I was like, I had a couple of beers, and I was like, oh, good. Now I'm feeling really good. Oh, the voice changer was about the comment about my reality being my wife. Like that's a really good voice changer. Oh, no. Auto run. I meant this. No, that's not what apparently I meant.
All right, I got voice activity on. I was on push to talk, and so you guys weren't getting everything I was saying.
Oh, that makes sense.
I was on push to talk, so I didn't bother Todd's raid callouts last night.
I think that also makes sense because that way it's like, all right, he's the captain.
He's the captain. He is the captain now.
For the longest time, Mr. People did think Chris was my wife, or I was his wife. One of the two. We were like,
Hola.
along with our wives, we make this channel together.
I know. Somebody thought we were neighbors. I've been introduced when we've raided other channels as brothers.
I thought you guys were like bestest buds in the world when I first saw your content. I'm like, they've got to live nearby. Like,
Two
right
complete
down the-
strangers.
Yeah.
Met.
You look like you want to do a YouTube channel. I actually just thought that myself. And
So
the
my
rest was
question
history.
Do you guys want to hear why ESO won't work with me anymore?
Yes. So this is, guys, to catch anybody who was coming in the stream. We were talking about YouTube and Twitch, and Benny kind of teased that ESO is not going to work with him anymore, and he said he'll tell that story once he goes live on YouTube. We're all caught up to speed. Benny, the floor is yours.
Okay, so when I first started deciding, hey, I'm going to branch out and do some more gaming stuff, was like 2 or 3 years ago. And this is when I was going heavy into Twitch. This is what I think at the time I actually made. The highest I ever got on Twitch was I was getting to 250, 300 concurrent viewers on Final Fantasy XIV. So I was starting to get my bones into the MMO scene.
Yeah.
Because I decided to do it when everyone else left, like all the big content creators. It was a weird time between Stormblood and Shadowbringers. Anyway, what ended up happening was I got invited to E3 because of the Twitch, and I went, and I had a great time. And it was there that I ran into one of the premier ESO content creators.
Okay.
So we met, we made nice. I got to go to ESO. I got to the Bethesda panel and all that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, if you watch the Bethesda year, that woo guy, I was like next to him, wooing with him.
Really? You were right next to the guy? Like, it's like, oh, man.
He was louder
Leave it
than
to
me, and I'm a
Benny.
loud guy. He was
Leave it to
literally right
Benny.
next to me.
Was
I'm friends
he-
with him to this day.
Was he paid for those woos?
No, we were not paid at all. Our
Was
whole
he
area
drinking?
were all direct invites from the ESO team.
Was he drinking?
Oh, we were all drinking. It
Okay.
was also free drinks.
It felt so out of place.
No, the thing is they put the mic right on us. Like, so he's drunk, basically going, woo! And the mic is like a foot from his face.
We were sitting here watching that, and our whole thing was like, what the hell is going on?
Is he mocking them?
Is this
like,
a
we couldn't-
joke? Like, because it wasn't
No.
even in anything that was like woo
And for the
worthy.
record, our whole table,
No, it's like,
our
and we have
area,
more information. Woo! And right now we need to take a water break.
Woo!
Our whole table was like super excited because they just pampered the hell out of us all day. They brought, like, I got invited into this group because they were all known as the guys for ESO, right?
Yeah.
And so they gave us food, they gave us unlimited drinks. We got to cut the line to get in for Bethesda. We were sitting, so we're down there, and they're like, the app game at the time, the Captain whatever game, Captain Keen. You know what I mean? And we're like, Captain Keen, you give me free drinks and food. I'm on board. So we got all they got all excited because I was doing really good in Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch at the time, and we decided to move over. And so what ended up happening was, they asked if I'd be up for trying out ESO. No, I'd played it off and on, but what I do in 14 is a lot of the higher end stuff. I like to call myself a hardcore casual because I have friends that do all the legwork for me, and then I get to do the fun shit. So, so what's up happening is I'm playing ESO. I do it for like 2 weeks with these premier content creator guys, right?
Yeah.
I don't like their end game. Their end game community is shit. Okay. The problem with their end game community is that the end game community is filled with people who got to level up however they wanted the whole way there, and there's no clear indicator that if you're going to go do end game, you need to actually have a build, which just leads to all kinds of disasters, right?
Yeah.
When the game launched, you didn't need a build because nobody knew what they were doing.
Right.
But as people
exactly.
have optimized, it becomes very clear when a group that is like in the big PvP has a plan that they just smash everybody else.
Yeah. And same thing with raiding and everything like that. And I'm a raider. I like the raiding game. So anyway, I am adamantly against getting on board with streaming ESO because I don't want to raid in the game. So, but I did say, hey, if they invite me, I'll do a lot of the casual stuff with you guys, the other streamers, right?
Yeah.
So the guy invites me to be on his charity, and he invites me to play Vermintide with him. This is after like 2 or 3 weeks. We've gone through the whole thing, and he knows my opinions. But he doesn't know like how like against it I've kind of gotten because I tried a few times off stream and it was not working. Like I just couldn't deal with that group. So he invites me and our 2 people on for this Vermintide charity stream, and he gets on there and he goes, "Yeah, so this is Benny. He's known as the comic historian. Benny, what do you've been thinking about joining the ESO content creator stream? What do you think of it?" And I just lambasted ESO. I went in, like screw the raid because I just had like a terrible. I'm like, fuck this community. This community is trash. I don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They all just want to play goddamn dressed up at their houses. They don't know how to raid. This is garbage. I was the most toxic ESO raider you'll ever meet. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Where are you guys from? We all play ESO.
Oh.
So he goes, "Oh, well, that's interesting." So the other guy with us, this is Rich Lambert, head of community operations for Elder Scrolls Online. I'm like, oh my god.
You should have introduced me second.
Yeah. Why was I first? Why did you ask that question? Rich, and the other guy, they've been friendly with me, but it's kind of like a laugh now. If I like, can I join your community team? No. Like,
Oh man, dude, foot in mouth. I've already got it up. It's I put the password in chat. I can accept yours too, so I don't. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Man, your password is real hard to figure out.
It is not impossible to crack.
So that was how I got myself on the shit list for ESO.
Yeah, Chris.
Which I hear has gotten a lot better, and I don't have time to play it anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like I just don't have time. I'm playing like 4 mobile games,
6
Genshin,
channels,
Honkai, 6 channels. I work out constantly. I'm looking at New World, and I'm like, nothing about this looks interesting enough to make me make time for it.
Yeah, see, I'm in the absolute opposite boat, dude. Like New World for me is just like breathtaking. I'm just like, oh my freaking goodness.
You're gonna have to tell me what's so good about it, because everything I've seen just looks so boring. Like,
it reminds me of 11. It reminds me of 11 in so many ways, and not that it's like a 1-to-1, but like for me, it's not that it does right now anything revolutionary, but it feels incredibly refined, and the world is dangerous and it's exciting, and so it's like, and the fact that I see other players running around, like if that dries up, then I think maybe my joy for it would, but. I'm really enjoying the sheer aspect of what the potential the game has to offer, and I felt that last year. I've been like sold on New World for well over a year since I played the preview, but it's definitely not going to be for everybody. Like I'm curious to see, because Chris and I were talking about this, and I think that I've been calling New World a sand park. It's not a theme park. It's not a sandbox. It's a sand park. It's got a theme park and elements, and it's got sandbox elements, and it tries to marry those two together. And so the contrast is that for people who are really wanting and have been trained in the World of Warcraft Final Fantasy XIV model, like they're gonna feel like it's lacking. And then for some people who are coming from like EVE Online or Elite Dangerous, like they're gonna look at the sandbox and they're gonna resonate with that, but then they're gonna see like, is this really a theme park? Like, you know, there's a couple of conflicting ideas, and it'll be interesting to see if they can blend these two ideologies together and end up appeasing a lot of people. But I don't think it's about August. I honestly think maybe it's about August 2022. Like if in a year's time they drop a big expansion, that's where like I think that's where all of a sudden people are like, oh, Amazon's for real.
I have a feeling it's gonna take a little ways because they've revamped that like 3 times. Because I've played some of the early alphas, and I was like, this isn't fun. This isn't fun at all. And
they're
I know
also not doing anything new, Benny.
Yeah.
So like, as somebody who plays a lot of games, there's not going to be anything for you there that you've never seen before. To people that have not had a lot of time to maybe explore games out of a certain genre or out of a certain franchise or play a lot of games in general, there may be some aspect of it that is brand new to them. But every aspect of New World that I've come across so far is present in other games already.
And then Chris, Party Finder's up. You're just dancing out beside me.
What's the build we're going with here? Who's going what?
It looks like Reality's rocking a white mage, so I switched to Summoner.
Yeah, I assumed Summoner was your main, right?
Yeah, so I was gonna do. Go ahead.
The meta for this is Red Mage, Machinist.
I can go Red Mage.
Red Mage is good because of the fur raise.
Are you guys the NR as the recruiter?
I'm the recruiter.
I don't. Other private. There it is. Okay.
Fallen Angel, I am definitely.
That's funny. Heaven on High made us, huh?
What's the password?
It's in Discord chat. I mean, it's 9999. You can enter it in. Before
the
There we go.
Yeah, Mysterious was saying, "Can I join my job as a VTuber cat?" It's like, fortunately, we're captive for. All right, so
no
what's the meta?
VTubers. I'm banning VTubers.
Banning VTubers.
I reworked Summoner on the controller, and so it's a disappointment, but it's still at the same time, like I enjoy it.
You want to tank, or you want me to tank, Chris?
I don't care, but I'm going to be here as a warrior, so.
Well, then, I guess you're going to tank.
Yeah.
I can be a DPS warrior.
Hold on. I made a skin tight outfit. I'm gonna go back to my house and come back. Hold on.
Okay. What about a real job like Black Mage? I love Black Mage. It's not one that I end up ever finding the time.
I love Black Mage unless I'm raiding. I don't do melee or Black Mage in raiding.
Dude, don't make fun of me, Michael. Titan should tank, and Titan can't tank. Like, that would be legit. Make Summoner good again.
Make Summoner good again.
Like, it's got its strengths, and so like after like spending a couple of months with it to really kind of work it on controller, it's like, okay, I get it. I see what we're going with. But I'm like, man, I'm really excited to see what Endwalker does.
All right, I'm scantily clad. I'm ready.
All right, cool. All right, let's clear us.
I got this like 2B style butt outfit going on.
Yeah.
Assless chaps. Like I've got this, man. I got this. Like,
It's
where
perfect.
You at? I'll go dance for you. Where you at?
Make sure y'all have a clear spot. So just check your deep dungeon. So make sure you got an open spot, and that way we can go from there.
I'll dance for you inside.
Do we have to start from 1, or can we start from 30?
31 should be, unless people are brand new.
No, I'm plus 99, plus 99.
Yeah, let me.
I've had heartbreakingly far clears before, but never made it to the top.
80 plus is where it gets stupid.
Yeah, I've had wipes in the 70s and the 80s. Just heartbreaking.
80 plus is like a mini boss everywhere we go.
Heartbreaking.
Okay, I got a reset spot. Yeah, no, I'm brand new to stuff, but I wanted to do the challenge, so it was nice that everyone kind of wanted to do it too.
Sweet.
Here we go.
We're gonna do a lot more damage than you.
21 to 30. Should we go to 31? Why are we going 21?
This is the place that lets you start.
Oh, 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, cool.
Oh, if he's ever been this far, yeah.
Well, no, this is like instead of starting at 1, like this is the only option in gaming. And I've been to 70s.
I got assless chaps.
Nice chaps, man.
But has My Reality been that far? I thought you said My Reality hadn't done this before.
I'm going ultra sexy, and so is Chris. You are also going.
No, the highest I've been is like the 21 to 30, just for leveling purposes and all that.
Okay.
But nah, I haven't been in.
We're on somebody's save. We have a site. Or is there a chest in here?
No, I got a chest.
Oh, okay.
While we were all checking out your butt, I was grabbing chests.
What's going on, Flash the Ripper?
Don't hardcast, Brian. Dude, Red Mage, I love Red Mage. I'm so glad I get to play a caster right now. Like usually, let's get these blue coffers in case anybody's capped.
No, the blue coffers can have that.
Magicites.
All right.
We're gonna want to save those until we get too many.
Yeah. We're gonna
those
go.
are the floor wipes. They'll just clear a floor for us.
Yeah.
They'll also beat a boss. Or no, the Odin one will. The Odin one will just beat a boss. Those will just do damage.
I didn't realize there's an Odin one. That's cool.
Oh,
dude, it's so legendary that Chris got it, and he was like one of the first.
I got it day one.
You got it day one, and so we have a highlight of it.
That sounds cool.
It was one of the first like Odins that people had seen.
I don't think I've seen Chris take that pig outfit off ever since he got it.
I tank in it. When I heal, I'm in a chicken suit. That's totally different.
And it's so funny because there are some people who just don't like that. They have strong opinions about Chris's pig.
That just makes you want to play it more, right?
Well, Chris is he's obstinate in that regards.
I like goofy glam.
You tell Chris how to play, and he just like actively goes like whatever.
Nice.
My chat is saying make Summoner good again.
Yeah.
All I want for Summoner is
what do you want?
What do you want? 2-minute rotation.
I would. Oh man, I really want to see more with the actual kind of theme of the summons themselves, but at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see what Yoshi B's got planned, man.
Nah,
Well, I mean, it seems like early on they had plans for the summons, but they kind of chucked them.
They did.
Because they even came up with a glamour system. Like all mine are just carbuncles.
Carbuncles all the way down.
He was asked, "Hey, how come you're not continuing to upgrade that glamour system?" He said, "Well, we wouldn't want to spend time investing in something that might change." And so, like, it kind of implied that Summoners got some changes coming.
Some big old changes.
Why make cosmetics to something you're going to change?
I wish the Dragon Ball Z thing coming on. You're gonna merge with your summon in Endwalker.
Oh,
my god! First run.
Wiped at floor 22.
We're real professionals, guys.
Which is more alarming when you think that we start at 21. Than it sounds.
Don't do that. No.
And he's supposed to be like Final Fantasy XI. Dude, Final Fantasy XI is supposed to be having like something big happening next year, man. 20th anniversary.
They've said that every year for the last 3 years. Next year, man, something big.
I'm big.
I just 3 years is a long time. Play online and give me a launcher that will load up on my computer without Windower.
I run what's it called? Like Anita or whatever it's called. Like I run on a private server and it's been nice. It's really easy to get in. It's so smooth. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, Square Enix. Let's go. Add it to the 14 launcher. Let's just play.
I don't know why it's not. Like, I know it would take a little bit of work infrastructure-wise, but I feel like if they just did it, they'd get players back in it. You know?
Dude, 100%, man. I think they and then adding value to the overall subscription, I think would be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to take a break from 14? Have you played 11?
Turning people away from
14.
Yeah. So I don't think they're worried about getting people into the subscription.
Yeah, it's true.
Right now you're like, I want to buy the complete edition. They're like, it's on sale. You're like, cool. Can I get one? They're
no,
like, no.
But it's on sale. No, they've been still updating 11, and 3 years ago they basically stopped. Like they've still been doing like maintenance on it, but they said they're working on something big for its 20th anniversary, and that's next year. And so they had just launched a new website. We Are Vanadil, and so they had a big interview, and it's honestly it's really exciting. Any way you slice it.
I know you're talking about Summoner as a white mage for years. I had to throw rocks So I was hoping at some point in time I'd be able to summon a stone golem, and that still hasn't happened yet. So I'm sure it'll happen in Endwalker. It's the last expansion. They should know by now I want a stone golem.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XI support and trying to do that, Melissa, is like your experience is not like unique. Like I hear that a lot. And also, by the way, thank you, Melissa. I saw that you hit that join button, and I really appreciate the support. I guess you did that in a video because it just popped up. So thank you very much. Ooh, where's my Vercure? Oh, there it is. I was like, you guys are in trouble. I don't know where it is.
I'm good. I got it.
So what is this horse that comes from this?
Yeah, what's this ugly horse?
It's ugly. If you clear it 4 times and get all the accessories, you get a horse. It's an achievement mount.
A horse, of course, of course, of course.
It's the Judy.
Dude, that just sounds bad.
It's like it's a black horse with like red, like big all fancy red, like Eastern Asian kind of appearance.
Okay. Isn't the Dodo mount from this one as well?
It can drop you. It's a drop though.
Yeah, but I think that's much harder to farm.
I wasn't sure if the joke Yeti was from that or not. My bad. He said he was making a Dragon Ball joke about fusing all of our summons into one super summon.
Yeah.
Are we done? No.
Final Fantasy, like I could see them doing more expansions, but I mean, I kind of feel like there's something big on the way. And you know, and that could be a engine master.
I still think that a 14 was going to at one point was going to end, but it just keeps getting population.
Do you want that
like
treasure chest or no?
It's what, like you pretty much we're all on the same page that this is the like biggest MMO right now people are playing.
That's what I mean. Like, it hasn't slowed down. It'd actually be dumb of them to end it like my original theory. I think I told you guys my theory like 2 years ago. Remember?
Yeah,
we had, like,
exactly.
a discussion, what's gonna happen?
We were like, you were seeing the same 6.0, and I was like, I honestly look at it in terms of years. Like, I think 2023, 24, where it's like that's a good time to sit here and say, here's Final Fantasy Online for the next decade plus. You know, because like Final Fantasy XI is still running. Like, I think you drop that thing into Unreal. You like bring in some nice stuff. You like, again, you just think of this holistically, and it's like, oh, hey, you know, I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, it's Square Enix, so who really knows?
That was my thought. Was after this particular story arc was they would come out with a whole new engine that so they don't have to work off all the old stuff, and then everything's still technically set, you know, in Eorzea and all that stuff, but maybe
why give
sometime
up
in the future?
Even when Yoshi P talked about how it's weird that they call it Final Fantasy XIV, why give up the SEO ranking? Why give up the growing population? Like, why move to a new engine until it's actively stopping you? It doesn't seem to be stopping them from doing what they want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm agreeing with you, Chris.
So,
like, my
as
idea
a
was that
business, I have
originally they
seen
were
restaurants that are like, "Hey, we should get a bigger location," and then they do, and it's better and it's newer, and then they go out of business. And it's like, no, why rock the boat? They're having literally like unparalleled record success. Why stop? Just keep going.
Just keep going.
At the same time, he's said plenty of times again, because of the janky code of starting with 1.0 and stuff, they've been able to do a lot, but then it also takes a lot longer to do things. So
yeah,
at a bare minimum for anything, I'm not worried about like graphically.
But that's been his whole career.
But then by them having his but at the same time, by having the new engine and all that, then maybe that like a ton of the projects that they've thought about doing that just weren't quite plausible, they'd actually be able to do, but still, you know, staying true to the game. Yeah.
I think of it in terms of like competition, because it's not like the game exists in a bubble and you sit down and all of a sudden you start resting on your laurels and sitting on your hands, and then it's like you look up and it's like, oh man, somebody completely leapfrogged us. Like, I think of it more in terms of a defense of like, hey, like here's where we want the game to go, and here's how we want this to evolve. And just in terms of Yoshi P saying that at some point the number 14 isn't going to make sense anymore, and it's like I think that's that thing is like, hey, we decided we're going to refresh the engine or something of that nature. And it's like, you know, so it's like, okay.
Well, we said that yesterday to where Yoshi P constantly refers it to 14 as the online game, not 14. And eventually, I wouldn't be shocked if that name gets dropped and it's just, Final Fantasy Online.
Well, Grand Theft did that. I mean, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they started Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and now a while ago it just became Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah.
They just had a Fast and the Furious update come out.
Oh, we got a quivering coffer. Mimic. Oh man, I got a thing I want to drop on somebody's head.
I got him. We're out.
Okay.
Sneaky. My chat has said that in 2035, Final Fantasy 20 Online will be announced.
There you go. And then like
wow, that means it'll be out by 2045.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mysterious is that like maybe if New World becomes massive, WoW's engine's gonna even look more outdated. Absolutely. Like you compare that and then you go walk around in New World for like an hour and you're like, holy freaking crap.
14 will look old before. Wow, that stylized style that people are like, oh, it looks so cartoony now. It looks the exact same as it did in 2004. The benefit of the stylized size is that like when you aim for realistic, you know, go back and look at games that were aiming more realistic. They age worse. So that stylized size has given WoW a ton of staying power, visually speaking. It's given them because it kind of lets your eye fill in the gaps where the pixel count couldn't.
Right.
So like Borderlands cell shading does the same thing. When you go more stylized, you have that advantage.
My main issue with WoW with their stuff is I don't like their environments a lot, that they just look really blocky. Like the character models and all that stuff and armor look a lot better.
I tried Shadowlands for a month. I just couldn't stick around, man. Same issue. Like they're like, oh, you gotta go around Torghast. This all looks boring. Like nothing about this is exciting.
So yeah, I mean, I've heard that argument plenty of times about the cartoony style ages better, and to a certain degree, it does. But then, that's just one thing that I've just never really cared for in WoW.
Just like you don't like, then it doesn't matter how it ages, right? You didn't like it from the get-go. So that's the same people that don't like 14. That's not an aging issue at that point. Like there are people who didn't like 14 when it was brand new, and that's not going to get better with time. They're like, you know what, I didn't like it then, but now that we have 4K. I really like these 1080p textures. Like, I mean, that will only get worse.
That's the problem with 11 essentially, is that like with its style, it's like, oh man, just a giant room, man.
I didn't know what the plan was. Is this dangerous at this point? I don't know. 28 doesn't feel that dangerous.
No, we're not gonna have to really stick together till like 50 plus, and even then it'll still be kind of ballsy. We'll be fine until about 60. That's when I normally stick with the groups.
Cool. No, I don't think graphics is what's going to undo WoW.
No, but I do think Shadowlands and the gameplay in general, like everyone's freaking out right now because of the reports of the lawsuit coming out. And they're all like, I'm quitting WoW, I'm quitting WoW, I'm quitting WoW. And I'm like, one, that's not going to do anything to show support for anything. Like, that's a terrible idea. And secondly, most of you probably already quit WoW for Shadowlands.
Yeah, so you can only quit once.
Yeah, I was like, because the people that I know that are still playing WoW, they went to raid night, man. I don't know what you're talking about, people quitting WoW for this.
I mean, within hours of that announcement, Pieces got the world third, secured. And so for them, like, that's exciting. Like getting third in a world first race for them as a guild that's a big moment. And those can coexist. Like that can be a exciting night for them, and that doesn't mean that they're like, and I'm really rooting for people to be treated poorly. Like they can. That's
how like Twitter's freaking out right now. They're like, if you're still playing WoW, then you want to see women abused. I'm like, how are you making that correlation?
Well, the people want a cause to fight for.
No, I agree, but like people don't seem to understand. If let's say all these people quitting WoW over that, right? If they didn't quit because of Shadowlands, they didn't quit because they were already bored. They actually quit because of that report.
Sure.
Okay, and let's say that their quitting actually mattered, the people you're fighting for will lose their jobs. Do you think that if the game's not making money, Activision and Blizzard are going to be like, well, we should keep everyone on staff because that's the right thing to do?
Oh no, Activision Blizzard will lay you off when times are great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and everyone's like, I'm going to quit playing WoW.
But that's the counter argument to like the concept of the boycott. Like we traditionally see boycotts only benefiting the company, you know, because it's like, all right, like thanks for the free publicity, but like in the case of Activision Blizzard, like what's up?
Do you guys need Aetherpool?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean I'll take it. I'm at
You're
45,
gonna get
50, 53.
every 10 floors anyway. So if you're like in the 90s, it's kind of.
I'm in the 50s. So like if we get it, great.
Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
But that's what I don't understand about all the. It's like the people to me that are like, I'm gonna quit WoW because of these issues. Like, then you didn't read the full article and actually know what's going on.
Right.
Like. You're just trying to be like, look how good, I'm such a good person.
It's virtual
and I guarantee
signaling.
most of those people had already quit for 14. Like I know one guy, I already quit for 14, but now I'm really quitting.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And I hit up my buddies who are hardcore WoW players to this day. Like they've stuck it out through everything. They're like, no, we're going to raid tonight. Like I assumed. Like.
Yeah, I just hope justice is served. I'm glad it's in the courts and not like on Twit longer.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's honestly the best takeaway. It's like, all right, they've done their investigation. They're looking into this. All right, let's, you know, like, all right, let's hopefully let justice be served and get this stuff fixed. I liked Hoag's video though, because like Hoag Law talking about like in the document, it really doesn't lay out a good case for the discrimination and like pay. That's going to be harder, I guess, for them to prove, but we'll have to see what happens.
WoW, even before all that though, WoW, like Torghast, I wasn't interested in. The raid
have to get through an indictment.
I dropped that raid in like 3 days. I'm like, it's not even a challenge. The way the dailies are structured is not fun. Torghast being harder every week with no additional time or rewards, like outside of getting to do more Torghast. I was like,
I liked Torghast on launch. It was exactly the same as this. Like it would be this thing where like, dude, bang, hop on, let's go clear some Torghast. And like
at launch, it was great.
I liked it. I thought it was a super neat idea. It's basically a deck building version of this. And instead of getting Palmanders, what would be happening is each time we got one of these little chests, we would all be given like 3 cards to choose from, and you would basically build a little deck that would alter the way you built. So maybe like my Fellcleaves now have like lifesteal, and you know, and so you would just alternate your class, and so it plays way different than it does in the rest of the world. And so every playthrough is different, and you know, all of a sudden your red mage is like, I don't know, shooting koalas out because some of the things are ridiculous, and it's like, oh, there's like exploding rats, and it's like, oh, okay, so let's just have like exploding rats going.
I got so far with exploding rats, man.
And so it's and so that's so nuts just for the sake of it. And that's
we don't get to keep all these things when we go up to the next floors, right?
No, we do.
Oh, the Palmanders? Yeah, we do.
All the stuff, because we're
keep
fixed.
the inventory, but if you burn them, that's just for that.
Okay, well, that's
if
what I was.
if you're match made, you don't.
Okay, yeah, because that's why I was wondering. It's just like, is there any reason for saving the stuff?
Yeah, well, not traditionally. The way I've always done it is get them up to 3, and then just start kind of freely burning them. Make sure we at least have 1 of each still in stock. But these early floors, we're not going to need any of that stuff. So it's a good floors to just kind of stockpile.
Well, like
it'll tell you if you find one that you can't take because you're already and then you just burn those.
Yeah, you already have 3. Yeah. I mean, I've done this particular floor a million times purely for leveling purposes. I just didn't know if you got to keep them for the next 10 floors.
Right.
And chat's saying that most likely it's going to be settled before it gets any far. Like typically, like companies are like, it's cheaper just to settle. Let's just call it a day.
I mean, it's literally in the California. It's in that department's like binding that they're supposed to attempt mediation first at no expense to the charged company. So like, settling is plan A. Settling doesn't mean anything. Settling on its own doesn't mean anything bad. Like it's the court system in the United States is massively over encumbered, and so that's a way of kind of keeping things from doing that. It actually puts a ton of power in the department's hands to put a lot of pressure because they're threatening you with taking it to court, and so you're forced to take settlements. So like, there's whole allegations in the United States court system that because settling is a thing, that there's people who settle for admitting
I
fault
want to get
if
knocked
they
up
didn't
into a
actually
cloud.
do.
Get knocked up into a cloud, Xenova.
Yep.
Oh, I got killed.
Mine was bad. Just to go back to the Torghast thing, though, the problem I have with Torghast is every week it just added floors. So what was a fun couple-hour thing a week turned into like, all right, so we got to set aside like 3 nights to run the Torghast runs.
Which, on its own, if it was Deep Dungeon like this, it'd be like, wow, Deep Dungeon is getting bigger across the expansion. But with the
I have I said that I am getting a stream deck. I did pre-order, but I don't have like a more detailed video than that coming out.
progress your relic, and so
Yep.
now you're
Oh,
like, wouldn't that
and
be super
also-
cool if the relic system and Deep Dungeon and Beast Tribes were all required to do Eden Savage?
Exactly.
And so
And
like,
don't forget the raid, which you'll have to do heroic, normal, mythic. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
and it just became like I have to play so much WoW to keep up.
right. And so every week, and then you in the capital city, you have the equivalent of like, you know, a loot chest that the loot chest is better effectively based on how full you got your challenge log the week before. And so now in addition to this, you're like off doing PvP and stuff to fill out your weekly chest. And it's like, oh, so do you like PvP? No. Why? Well, because I noticed you were doing PvP 1 or 2 nights a week. Well, that has nothing to do with me liking it.
That's what I hate about Destiny's PvP. They're always like, you need to do PvP every week if you want to keep up. I'm like, but I don't like PvP. Your PvP's trash. I don't like it. But you got to do it. You got to do it.
So, and then my problem with that is then WoW uses so much. They're so big that they don't rely on like, here's what the developers like and don't like, because we don't want to make a game that's just for us. We understand the community is bigger and more diverse than us. That sounds great. How are you going to fix that? We're going to use analytics. Fair enough. Like objective data to show you what people are doing. Yeah, we saw people were doing a lot of this content, so they must like it. You made it mandatory, so how does that? So like if they had instead siloed things off more like Guild Wars 2 or something like that, or even here in 14, where Deep Dungeon, the only reason to be in here is because we want to.
Oh yeah, and it's really serious what is being said. And to clarify on terms of virtual signaling, somebody who's already quit, and then they're saying they're going to quit because of this, like they've already quit. Like all they're doing is just espousing it. But the people who are reporting their stories, that is not. So hopefully that clears that up.
Torghast because you're raiding, and that's not helpful. That doesn't teach them anything.
I get an argument in Destiny with a couple of the PvPers that they're like, no, PvP is super popular in Destiny. So many people do it. I don't know why they don't put more effort into it.
I don't know why. Why?
It's mandatory. We have to do it if you're going to keep up. That's why people do it. Like,
I love PvP, and like I would love to see them actually do something with it. Like we got a whole nother like expansion. They deleted all this content. We haven't got anything to PvP in like years, it feels like, in Destiny.
no, it's been over 600 days. There's
like-
a count going online now.
Oh, thank God someone's counting.
When I quit WoW in Pandaria, that's when I was really involved in WoW. But since I come back to WoW, I'm just like a casual vacationer that's willing to pay my sub. But like when I played heavily and quit in Pandaria, from an analytics standpoint, I looked like I was loving the game more and more and more because the amount I was playing each week was going up and up and up right up until I quit. So from a purely analytics standpoint, I was clearing more of the content more consistently each week. And I quit because I looked up and realized, oh my God, I have found the world's only job where I pay them. Like, this is so dumb.
That was the other thing when
Oh, shit.
I love that response.
when you were talking about the legendaries, you know, having to go through Torghast to get all the soul ash and all that stuff. Like, I remember, you know, before I was, you know, deciding, you know, to play the 0.1 patch and all that stuff, I was kind of laughing because some of my guys were giving me crap when I was playing Warrior that like, why did I choose the wrist version instead of the ring? And then 9.1 comes out, and then the ring has one of the new like domination slots on it, and they're all pissed off because they have to remake their item and there's no refund system, you know, when they first started talking
Yeah, because
about
what's really
it.
fun, what's really fun with a relic system is when you go. We know what the problem with Pagos was. You remember how upset everybody was at Pagos and Eureka?
What's up, Be Righteous? Thanks for coming and hanging out, dude. Also, again, thanks for the support. We're doing Heaven on High, trying to do a full clear. We'll see how we go.
And then like Mythic Plus, Earth Demon talking about Mythic Plus. Like Mythic Plus, people ask for Mythic Plus in WoW in 14 regularly, and a lot of ex-WoW players or even current WoW players are really nervous about that because like, no, I don't want that obligation. we aren't asking for a carbon copy. Like, yes, we're saying, wouldn't it be cool if a game that handles content this way took the core idea of Mythic Plus and put it in here, knowing that 14 would keep it optional, would keep it out of your raid progression, would keep it out of, right? Like, and so
well, if you
knowing
type
that they would
gear
treat it
to
more
it, then
respectfully.
that's what people don't like. Some
Right.
It was geared tied to
about
Deep
it,
Dungeon when it was new.
but at the same time, a Mythic Plus like system in Final Fantasy, I think would be a great idea. Just because having challenging small party content is one thing that the game does lack to a certain extent.
I like the having on I like the deep dungeon model. What I would love to see them do is like pull from the like dungeons that we have, right? So that like, hey, yeah, this is a neat floor, but imagine if it's like, oh, I remember this section of this dungeon. Like you literally, it's just like,
what are we up to? 300 bosses across dungeons, trials, raids?
yeah.
Like, think of the number of monster types across things like fates and all that. You should be able to procedurally generate this thing until it's just slammed with content.
Well, wasn't that what they essentially did with the Unreal things? They just bumped a lot of the old raids up to level 80.
I am so excited that they're finally doing that kind of stuff, because I have said, and I've gotten a podcast with you guys for a while.
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
shit
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted that higher content, and part of the reason I want Mythic Plus, I want time trials, is I know they would keep it optional, like you said, Chris. I know how they handle their content. The only reason that they would ever make it optional is if they decided to work it into some relic system. But the way that they did this one, we got 2 or 3 options every relic step.
Right.
So it's like, oh, do you not want to do Heaven on High?
No,
Don't worry. Go do other things.
I think the Mythic Plus this tier would drop another form of 520s or 515s, maybe 525s if you get high enough up. So it wouldn't replace best in slot. It would be another middle step for people gearing, another optional step. Even in this game, like 530s, there's 2 sets of 530s in the game right now, and technically one is better than the other, but it doesn't matter. Like if you inspect me right now, I have augmented Crypt Lurker. I have 1 piece of Savage gear equipped. Everything else is augmented Crypt Lurker, and it's fine.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that because I mean, I raid on the regular. I do all the different tiers of raid. I've done the blue raids. I've gone through the ultimate fights. Right now I'm doing DR Savage. You know what you do them for? The fun of doing them. Because I don't have BIS this tier because it doesn't matter. It doesn't give me anything. There's no reason to have BIS.
Look at the amount of interest in new people that the community didn't know, like Zumi, or new people that people do know, like Asmongold and Rich, doing minimum item level like ARR dungeons, ARR raids.
Yeah.
Like, there is literally no
you
reason
pop
to do
that minimum item level on like a dungeon, and it's like, oh good, woohoo, get out of here. It's such a challenge, and then you forget how hard the dungeon can be at minimum eye level, because you like if you're current, you're like, all right.
And meanwhile, you have these raids that are celebrated. You have people talking about,
thanks to the man.
Wrath of the Lich King raids. You have people talking about, their favorite raids from Pandaria or whatever. You have people saying, man, I really like some of the dungeons in Warlords of Draenor. And the vast majority of the population did not actively play Warlords of Draenor. And WoW's like, wouldn't it be cool if we just never leveraged any of that outside of our incredibly weak time walking system?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Be sure that if you're new around here to a stream as well, hit like. Also, I've got Benny's and the Twitch stream up as well in the pinned comments. So if you can and feel like it, lurk on all 3 streams and more. We appreciate. Guys, I really thank you guys for coming and hanging out on this, kind of tower climb.
The fact that they did that, if you go into the blue raids with no echo, you go item synced proper level. The title I'm wearing right now, Mask of the Blue,
battle
is doing Thornton, synced up, no echo.
Yeah.
Achievements, battle, right here. Complete the Naval Extreme with a party of only blue mages, silence echo turned off, and undersized party turned off. Mightier than Crag. Do the same for Howling Eye Extreme. Do the same for Thorn March, Whirl Eater.
But they only gave this title. This title I'm wearing.
How cool is that?
Yeah. That's one thing. That's another thing to put on the to-do list, because I got my blue mage up. I got almost like every single skill. I think all that's left to do is getting a dedicated group of 8 people.
And actually that brings us right to a great question by Felix saying, how do you find like a dedicated group? Let's say if you want to do Binding Coil of Bahamut, like what would are there tools or are there communities you guys would recommend for them to check out?
I'd go sit in Discords.
Yep.
Is there a specific Discord?
I use Balance for my stuff. And,
Balance is a big one.
Recruit.
If you have a content creator who does a lot of teaching content, somebody like Rin or Todd or Comey, I would go sit in their community where they've kind of built a relatively like safe space for people who don't know what they're doing to learn, where that's kind of been part of it.
I do a lot of teaching myself. We used to do it every Sunday morning. I still do my Final Fantasy streams on Twitch on Sunday mornings, and we primarily teach everyone new, because I do all this content for fun. I don't do it to be like, oh, look how badass I am. Oh, look, you know.
Yeah.
I do it
Hey,
to be like, I did it.
Last night, FF logs, my parse was like an 8. So like, considering my E9 and 10 first clears were like a 7, I'm getting better.
And that was
That's all we can ask. Just keep getting
Well,
better.
that's one thing, like, yeah, you know, seeing
out of 99.
you know, seeing guys like Asmon and Summon them, you know, granted they got massive followings
Big
and
crit
all that,
energy. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But,
solidly gray parse.
yeah, I like doing a lot of that challenging
Hey,
content just
you got
because. And yeah, just being able to have a whole bunch of guys on call, be like, okay, let's go try this one, and then they instantly get in queue. Nobody knows what they're doing, and they just work it out. You know, actually, it looks like a lot of fun. I wish I could do that.
And
There's people
it
who
is a
enjoy
lot of
party
fun.
finder
You
and
just gotta-
stuff.
What you got to do is convince Brian to raid regularly, and you'll be fine.
Well, that's my other thing, is a lot of the like, I still haven't done Emerald and the Diamond weapon yet since I've come back, but like my current guild, again, they're like hyper casual. They normally don't do the extremes or the savage stuff. So when it came to the trials, yeah, I got all my completions just by going into Party Finder and joining the learning groups and then the progression groups and all that, and then finally getting the clears. So I never had a dedicated group for at least those ones. It was only like the only time I ever made like a.
Those aren't real tigers.
I've had a lot of bad parties. The group I'm with now, I've been running with for a year and a half now. Whenever we finally clear a tier, we just pick something new and fun to go do for weirdness, just to clear it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm down.
But yeah, it's. I will say, playing 14, I have been in and out of hardcore groups and casual groups for the entirety of, what am I, like 10 years now, 8 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth between both of them. This is probably the longest I've run with a group before. Like a consistent group that actually wants to keep progressing. Because the problem you run into is you're like, okay, so this group wants to do Savage, but they don't want to do Blue. Okay, but this group wants to do Ultimate, but they don't want to do Blue. Okay, this group wants to do Blue, but they don't want to do Ultimate. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get a group to do them all.
Finding like that's the always thing. Finding people who are of like mind, and also then of like schedule.
Yeah.
I was about to
Well,
say
just
one of
wait till
you
the content's sold and go run it with people that can teach it really quickly. Like last night, we got my E11S clear. My first one, no echo, 1 lockout. So like, you know, and yeah, it's not the same achievement to people that got it week 1, but it is to me. Like I didn't need that.
Doesn't matter when you did it.
It was a big deal to me.
Unless you're raid racing, like world first, it doesn't matter when you do it.
I was excited.
Oh no.
But it was way easier because six of the people in the party. 6 people in the party were like really, really capable, and we were all over geared. And so even without echo on, you know, and the guides are really well documented and made at this point. And so
what I'm hearing is we should go do 9 through 11 right after this series of floors.
if
All
you
right,
want,
we just need one more healer, one more tank.
Let me hit up my raid team. Let me see who's bored.
I do a healer.
You bored?
Yeah.
Wanna get people?
I cleared 9 and 10 once in May and haven't done it since. It's bound to have stuck. I won't make a single mistake.
I asked. We'll see if they respond. They might be busy.
I don't have anything else going.
But we have a tower to climb.
We got Diamond EX. We got Diamond EX down within like 2 or 3 polls.
Shadow King, don't worry. I know. I'm streaming a
just
game that
fell
I don't
over.
normally stream at a weird hour. Chat is tired, and I appreciate everyone who's watching right now, even if you're not chatting. Plus, I'd like to assume that you're not chatting in the chat, and maybe Brian's yours is kind of slow too, and yours, Chris.
I feel
because
like
we're having
chat's popping off. I don't know. Like,
oh, mine's not popping off. Let me go to yours. Let me go to yours to see what they're doing.
I got everybody's chat. I got everybody's.
What I was gonna
I
say
got
is they're
everybody's
enjoying
chat.
our conversation.
Friday night streams are super chill here. The last couple Friday nights I've been playing Minecraft while we talk
One of
about
my
14.
guys
Yeah.
is like, Benny looks so awkward with this conversation. And I muted myself for a minute. I'm like, no, Benny's having bourbon and just listening.
Well,
I'm having a smoothie.
well, mine's non-existent. I normally just talk to myself, and then every now and then a bot comes in, telling me, "Do I want to become famous?"
You want to become famous?
Did they tell you to drink water?
I always say no. Like, no, I'm good.
That's how I learned how to use the band function for my Twitch thing. That took a second to figure
I don't
out.
know. So like recognized within your space feels nice. So like
Right.
when I've been at like conventions related to a job I've had, or like, you know, when you and I went to FanFest, that feels really good.
Yeah, but
Because
that's not
like,
famous.
but like when I go to the grocery store or just an airport, I'm just an average schmuck, and that's kind of nice.
Not to toot my own horn, but I've gone from like, no, well, the channel's not doing the greatest right now, but I'm still obviously a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for like 8
we just
years.
go back?
I've had my beaks, oh my God, I'm getting so many views. I've gotten the recognized in stores. I remember one kid recognized me in a Target buying cat food and he dropped all the cans.
Oh, cool.
But
But it doesn't impact your life. I think a lot of
I
people.
ruined someone's day.
Yeah. I've been at GameStop and people recognize me for my voice. I've had all of that, and I actually stopped. I stopped getting on camera on the stuff because it's not fun. Like, it's cool, and I appreciate everyone who does recognize and says hi. But you like
a pretty distinct appearance, like.
But you can't go.
You have
can't
identifying marks.
go, just a few.
Self-inflicted identifying marks.
But the problem is, like, if I go to like New York Comic Con, which I'm doing, I'm not going to be allowed to walk on the main floor because that's comic books, and I will get recognized. So I'm not allowed to go on the main floor because like security will pull me off.
I know Brian and I have talked about doing something like going to like a Destiny convention or something like that, because it would be really fun to go to a convention with Brian, and that's something we never did before Work to Game. And like obviously, I mean, we're substantially smaller than you, but like FanFest is still. I really thought we would go to our first FanFest and we would meet like one person, and I was like, we're gonna meet up with Chili, and like Clink said he'd meet us there, and that'll be neat. And like literally while checking in for the hotel, somebody was like, "Can you sign this?"
Okay.
I love FanFest,
This
and the
is
reason I go to
very different.
FanFest every year is because I've never been recognized at FanFest for doing Final Fantasy. I've gotten recognized for Comic Historian, weirdly enough.
You made our
But,
day
like-
though when we actually met at the media tour, because you're like, hey, I like y'all stuff. And we're like, oh, thanks. And then like, or like, who was that? I'm like, I don't know who that was. And then
he goes, he goes, "Hey, I'm Benny with Comic Historian. I'm a huge fan." At the time, we had like 35,000 subscribers, and Comic Historian was coming in at like a pretty intimate 1 million, 1.2. And
Small number.
and so you know, he just invited all the people he knew, and so like you said you really liked our stuff, and then you walked away, and Brian's been in the space a long time, so I was like, Brian, who is that? He goes, I just assumed you knew him.
I did.
and so like I get out my phone and Google him, and I was like, bullshit.
I'm not a
I have
fan
questions.
of the normal.
I
I'm
have
not a fan of the
follow-up
normal-
questions.
I have follow-up questions. I'm not a fan of the normal Final Fantasy creators. I was following you guys for a while. I don't know why it recommended you, but it did, and I kept watching.
I do, because we read up how algorithms work, search algorithms, and we learned how tagging works.
Oh,
And
welcome
at the
to how
time-
my job
And
works.
at the time, our competition in the space was pretty light as far as people focusing on tagging. The vast majority of content creators in the YouTube space, 14-wise, were streamers first and YouTubers second. And so
Right.
their optimization as far as tagging and stuff goes was pretty light. So you could move yourself to the top of the stack by trying.
That's how I got my comic book channel off the ground. No
Hey.
one realized how tagging, titling, and search and
Thanks, K Black. Appreciate that.
for the channel. That's what I did. I
Yep.
researched that, did that.
Yep.
Because everyone in the space was just doing the whole, I read a comic and it's fun. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I separate from that? I could narrate. Okay, cool. How do I make my videos pop? Oh, oh, did no one read this website?
Yeah, there's whole channels that'll teach you how to be a YouTuber. And so like it
Yeah.
became this fascination of a hobby where I wanted to get better at making content. And that quickly, like just the act of trying in some spaces, like Guild Wars 2 is a very poorly documented game. There's a handful of people doing it really well, but it's not very many. So my brother joked this week that he's getting really into PvP, and he said there's not that many like PvP dedicated YouTube channels. I've thought about starting one. Would you help me? And I said, yes, let's do it. And he goes, because I've been thinking I might want to make a Guild Wars PvP channel. I said, well, congratulations. You're now in the top 10 most popular PvP channels for Guild Wars. And he's like, well, I haven't made one yet. And I was like, you don't have, like, the fact that you thought about making one, you're already top 10. Like it's not a huge space, so just do it.
Crafting on my side is asking if that works today. Yes, we launched the Absolutely Marvel and DC channel with zero promotion from the two of the bigger comic book channels.
I don't think we need
with
to do
the
it here,
intention
do
of
we?
testing that to see if it still work, and it does. The channel's doing perfectly fine, and I barely ever promote it or mention it.
Ginger
the gaming
Prime-
channel's a little bit harder just because that's such a saturated marker, but
Ginger Prime follows more of Brian and I's advice than Work to Game does. And
Yeah.
it will pass Work to Game in the next
So
6 months.
and,
to a year.
and as kind of proof of concept, because like when I originally kind of set it up, I was like, all right, like I was like, you can go look at their like with the earliest founding of the channel, and it's like I didn't talk about Final Fantasy at all because I was like, did we catch lightning in a bottle? Like that's kind of the test, because people were like, how do you do this? I would spend a lot of time like, well, like this is what like how we've kind of established like what our editorial ideas are, what we want to put out there in the universe, etc. And so I just like, well, let me just see if I can follow my own advice, not necessarily tell anybody about it. So I still to this day get people who are like, wait, what, Brian, like, why are you posting on Ginger Prime? Like, it's like your Work to Game. It's like, yeah, and like I've been doing this for a year and a half now. But it's like I started off and I didn't post anything on 14, and specifically I just focused it on other stuff, and I was like, I want to talk about this other stuff, and I just followed my own advice, and it's like within a month, actually I was like, well, it's growing okay, and then like I don't know, like it lit up, and then within like a month and a half I was at 10,000 subscribers. I was like, well, if anybody asks how to start a YouTube channel, this is the advice, and like I've done it twice.
I also wondered, okay, can just titling and thumbnails and making content you want to make succeed? Just as a question.
Yeah.
And I spun up gaming kinda, and people were like, this channel just keeps changing. Yeah. Like you just make what the hell? Like you're just doing a bunch of reaction content in a row, and now it's just this random guide on this game. Like, yeah.
That's exactly what I do.
There's not a plan here.
What everyone's watching right now on my
plan.
side, Comic Story and Gaming, that's what that's become. It used to be a gaming lore channel, and I kind of let it die when Comic Story took off, and now I just use it for whatever I feel like doing. And to answer the question of if I've done BA, yes, I have. That was the mount I was showing off there, Shuri.
Ooh, yeah.
I got
Thanks,
someone in our
WG.
chat asked if we would come to
it's
Arsenal.
just sorta
I was showing that I did
a
it.
gaming channel.
Yeah.
There's not a plan here.
But no, you're 100% right. And like I was just saying, you can easily start it if you know what you're doing. I as a challenge, because Comic Story is fine. I could quit tomorrow and I could retire off of it, and I probably would be good for quite a few years before I had to worry about anything.
That's nice.
And that's because I know what I'm doing. But at the beginning of the year, I had the question of, do I really know what I'm doing, or did I just get lucky? And so I literally started the gaming news channel, the TV show review channel, and we got 2 more channels we're coming out with. The TV show review channel, already profitable, already in the green.
Nice.
And the gaming review one, the gaming news channel is taking a little bit longer because of the saturation, but we're already able to consistently get 300 views per show. So considering I haven't promoted any of those in the main channels outside of mentioning like this in passing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as you're driven by passion on that, especially with gaming, like you just kind of say, yeah, this is what I want to talk about.
And is 14 worth trying? I've been playing 14 since it launched, 100%. And it's free up to level 60.
Download the critically acclaimed free trial.
No, unhear about it, because it's getting packed at the goddamn gold saucer right now.
I know, to the point where it makes me lag. Ow. Dude,
If you guys want to go do Arsenal, though, there's an invite.
I thought we could kill it before that went off, but false.
I actually loved doing Arsenal and wouldn't mind doing it again if I didn't already agree to go with these guys on this run.
Suckered him in.
I would love to do Valdez and Arsenal, but I stopped in Pagos like everybody else.
We can just do the abandoned duty thing, or do we need to leave?
You can abandon duty. That's why
I
did
just
not swim
leave.
faster than you guys.
Yeah, like I did that and then I was confused and worried for a second and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
I've done it all the time. That's how
Oh,
I'm
okay,
always
so
at.
yeah, it just sends you here and then go to the entry point or whatever.
How did it send you in here? Because it's like literally it sent me out of the thing.
It does the first time because technically 30 is the completion.
Makes sense.
So now it's gonna keep sending us into this little room.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like
No,
GM
when-
jail style.
Yeah.
Now, when y'all were talking about like the algorithm stuff and all that, like I don't know, any of how all that works, but I do remember, like a few months ago, I played Guild Wars 2, like its story all the way through the first
Yeah.
time, and like I don't have subscribers, I don't have followers, and I just thought it was weird that like I put in just my little title, trying Guild Wars 2 for the first time, and people just keep popping in. They're like, "How do you like the game?" I'm just like, "How the hell do you know who I am?" Like,
Oh, Guild Wars adores new players, and there's nobody making content, so you're immediately at the top of the stack.
yeah, and then I was just being funny. It's just like, did me just really putting "I'm new" in here like start bringing people in?
Yeah.
And so just as a laugh, 2.5 weeks ago, I come back to Final Fantasy, and I'm just like, new player returning to Final Fantasy, and then a guy comes in. It's like, how you liking the game? He's like, wait a second, you just queued up for Eden. he's like,
Spofy does that. Spofy will do that. Spofy was like, when she was on her like 1,500 days in a row streaming streak, she'd put like, new streamer, who's this? Like new streamer figuring this out. And just leave.
Like what?
Day 1490, new streamer trying Final Fantasy 14
yeah.
for the first time, and they're doing like savage pulls.
I don't know. I've always found fun with that. I get annoyed a little bit by the people that are like, let me tell you how to play 14, and I'm like, I've probably done far more of this than you have. Why? Because whenever I don't feel like doing anything, I play 14. This game is to fill every gap of my life. Oh man, we get a little downtime. I should go play 14. Like,
I really hope that like the new Endwalker PvP stuff, like I'm really looking and hoping that we see some awesome stuff with that.
That's the only thing I've never done. PvP, and I got 3 people who were like, "Do you want to be our 4th and East team?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll go fail at that next."
I still haven't unlocked like the roulette feast stuff that, for even if I wanted it for just pure like leveling EXP for a job I haven't done of it. I haven't done it yet. I think about it, but I never do it.
Gilmero is stuck on Pyros. Like I don't even know if I've completed the first zone of Eureka.
Eureka is a ton of fun.
I loved it, but what it did was made me go, you know what I really miss? Final Fantasy XI. So I went and said, I went and played 11. I was like, all right. And I don't regret that.
It made me miss chill content, like full clearing, like WoW open zones, and going doing like fishing raids and stuff. So,
have you done the fishing raid in this? Have you done ocean fishing?
I have.
Oh, I love ocean fishing.
Oh yeah,
I adore it.
I got my shark mount. That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats on your shark, dude.
I crafted my first piece of best in slot figure this week.
Yeah, hold on. You know what I just realized? You're all following me.
Yeah, there's no plan.
I realized when I stopped moving for a second, you all stopped with me, and I'm like, wait, that's
I'm not
following
on slash
me.
follow. I'm legitimately following you.
I have like
You do
separation
realize-
anxiety.
That
Come back.
like 17 floors ago is the highest
I
I've
can
been. I don't
change.
know what I'm doing. I'm just healing you guys. I hope you guys know what you're doing.
I don't have tank stance on, so I'm not a tank right now.
But you were mentioning Eureka, and like when Asmund came to the game, that was one of the first things I thought about. I'm like, if that guy just wants to, he's gonna have no problem like getting like a relic or just doing that content, because he's just like, okay, I need 48 guys, and then instant.
Well,
he's
they
gonna
made Eureka easier. I did it back in the day where it was 48 guys, and I had to get into a Discord, and I had to get an invite, and then I had to prove to the Discord that I could do BA, and I had to do that for almost a month until they finally invited me into a win run. And that took almost 2 more weeks of queuing in, getting into the win run. I finally got my mount, and I'm like, I am never doing this again. And I will not lie, 3 months later, I'm like, I really want to run BA. I love the raids that are in Boja.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't like
Oh yeah,
Boja.
they're really fun.
I've had so much fun with Deliverum. I've done Deliverum to the point where on stream I'm doing Deliverum like I've done Deliverum with no UI. I've done Deliverum with with clicking my spells. I've done Deliver 'em first person, which is insane.
Liam.
Deliver 'em with no UI max spell effects is absurd. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing that I haven't done yet. I don't know if I will. I've done like the regular versions and they're fun, but yeah, I haven't done like the 48-man Savage, or isn't there like a 72-man?
If you want to do Savage, me and my raid team have assembled 41 people so far, and we're going every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern until
Wait,
clear.
you're telling me I could have consistent content on a
Yeah, but I don't
Sunday
have
night?
Pagos then.
Pagos. No. DR Savage. We're doing DR
Oh,
Savage.
DR Savage. Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
yeah.
And I am the guy organizing it, so I will get you in.
See you Sunday. We're gonna do dual streams on Sunday. I'm doing like 2 streams a day right
This
now.
will be the first one I stream for it. I haven't streamed it yet, only because the first run was last week, and I didn't want to get
Do I
in there.
need to have
and
watched
be
the guide? Do I need to have a plan?
No, we're gonna be reteaching because we went in with 29. We had 3 people no show, and we were literally missing. We beat slimes and golems, which is the opening, but it took us an hour and a half because we were literally 1 DPS shy.
Do I need
Like
essences?
I
What do
needed 1 DPS with me, and we would have cleared it every time. I had to pop so much shit to solo my slimes.
Do I need
It was
essences?
ridiculous.
Like, is there
Yes.
anything? Okay.
We're not popping them right now, so if you don't have them by Sunday, you'll be fine.
Okay.
So if you get junk essences, you don't use peer. We're all hoarding our peers. So
Okay. I don't mind.
That was also the other thing, you know, since it was called Savage and all that stuff, I didn't know like how many more mechanics, or did everything just hit harder, or like all that other stuff.
It's
And like
a whole new area.
Yeah, how I need to set up my essences and all that too, because I knew that was a thing. I just but you know, that's my thing. You know, even if you only do it once, you know, doing the challenges to get them all completed once, you know, that's one of my biggest goals that I can do. You know, doing it on farm is great, but
see, I love when the content is as challenging as BA, where you are, Shuri, or DR Savage, and by clearing it, you get an achievement now. It's like, I did it, it's done, awesome. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's actually sounds cool. You know, I've been pretty weak on like Savage, like this whole expansion and all that stuff, but since I've been kind of getting, you know, back into the swing of things, just MMO-wise in general and all that, then yeah, I kind of have this whole plan and list of stuff I want to do. Then all that's left is just going and doing it.
I just shot you guys invites to the Discord. Once you get in there, just assign your role so you're in the roster.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, do you actually are able to go, Brian? I know
no.
your schedule's weird.
No,
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to make that.
I assumed because you hadn't mentioned
I'm
wanting
actually
to do
streaming
it.
Sunday morning. I'm doing Sunday morning.
Do I
want
want to go? Yes. Do I have the capacity? I don't. And it's like,
Okay.
and it's like, yeah, like I'll hang out and stream, like watch the stream and stuff like that, and cheer you guys on.
Shuri, I want to comment on this real quick because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Shuri says that they had to form a static in Eureka just to be able to do things. 100%, I agree with that entirely because that's what I had to do. I literally have 10 people on rotation to do whatever I want to complete. And we do it as friends. Like one guy, the reason we're even doing DR Savage is another guy wanted to do it. But that's the trick to succeeding at this game. You just need to get out of your comfort zone, make friends, and organize a group. That's what you need to do. And once you do that, you'll be able to accomplish so much in this game.
Well, and it's also a lot of the problems the
the
game has, like with matchmaking.
Yeah, it solves matchmaking. But here's a secondary trick. I haven't parsed in forever. I can parse.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we can go back the other way. Yeah.
But I haven't done a solid parse in forever. The reason is I have 10 people. I go with them no matter what. And if we're clearing, no one cares what the numbers are. Like we'll parse sometimes for fun. But if you try to get into random groups, I couldn't get into an ultimate group because I didn't have a current parse.
Thanks, Listen, for the 420 bits, by the way. I appreciate that.
That was one of my things. Is for the longest time I didn't like the idea of statics because I'm like, no, because I want my guild to be my quote unquote static, but because a lot of the content, you know, is 8-man, then they either already have one or, you know, there's just not enough people going around. So, you know, yeah, slowly but surely putting up, not even just getting a bunch of static members, but having a lot of like-minded people on the cross-world link shells, I've had a lot of success on. When like the new challenging stuff comes out.
In theory, that's what Fellowship Finder's for, and Party Finder, and Crossworld Link Shells, but like they've got 9,000 different systems.
They do. They got a lot of tools to meet people.
Pick one, and use it. Like
I had to break down, and I actually made my free company mad. I have a free company that a buddy of mine runs that I'm in, and we own the house together. And I tried to make a group out of that. The problem you're going to run into is if I've become friends with my raid team and everyone I run with. But when we formed up, I didn't care who they were. It was about getting the goals done.
Right.
Whenever I made a group with friends, you'll always have 4 people that want to raid and then 4 people that don't want to be left out. You won't get 8 that want to do it if you try to build it out of the free company or out of your friends list. You need to just get people who want to get the job done. And then you become friends with them. I've been running with these guys over a year and a half. We play Destiny together. We're gonna play.
I would recommend you check out my PS5 migration video. What you want to do is that, congratulations on your new PC, but you want to go and update your and make sure you back up all your settings so that when you install the client, you can just pick up right where you left off. And the PS5 Final Fantasy video is basically that.
I don't know if you see it the same way. I see it like, okay, it's time to get down to business, down to work, and then I'll have people like, are you even having fun?
It's business time. It's business time.
Yes. I'm like, yes, doing the challenge and being super serious about it, and trying to hammer everything out to make it smooth. That is what's fun, and and there's just so many people that don't think that way, and they'll just be like, yeah, well, we'll get it done.
Too many people put too much on a high parse. Too many people put too much on getting it done day one. They're not there for the fun of it. They want to have the accomplishment of it, but they want to have it now. For me, it's all about having fun with my friends, and if that means we're going to raid the same raid 90 times, whatever, let's do it. Like in Destiny 2, I raid with the same group of people that I've been raiding with now for about a year and a half as well. And I don't need to raid at all. I have all my best gear. I have all my weapons, but I go because I'm there with friends. Like a buddy asked me 2 weeks ago, why do you raid in 14 and why do you raid in Destiny on a consistent basis when you've accomplished it all? And I said, because every week, no matter
in the Ginger Prime, that's where I've got it. I'll see if I can find you a link.
I'm going to meet up with a bunch of my buddies and we're going to bullshit each other. And it's going to be fun. And I have a guaranteed time that I can sit there and drink alcohol and play some of my favorite games. Why do you think I agreed to run with you, Brian? It wasn't because I want to run Heaven on High. I'm literally running it right now on another slot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because we could sit around and have a great time.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm being chased by a giant worm.
It's really slow. That's a slow worm. That's the steamroller. And I look back there and there's the steamroller and Austin Powers knowing, no.
What a funny movie. I haven't watched an Austin Powers movie in like years. I need to fire that up. Yeah, my birthday is this Tuesday, so it's gonna be fun because Chris and I are gonna go. I'm thinking barbecue, Chris. Hopefully you're game for some barbecue. That sounds good to me.
Anybody who on my chat who is saying you're having problems making friends and stuff, you're welcome to join our free company. We do run community events so people can meet each other. They go. I don't show up to them normally just because they do it on a weird day for me, but they go farm old horses, old mounts, stuff like that, so you can get to know each other. The only downside is right now I'm on the Asmongold server, so I have a queue to get in.
Oh, on the Asmongold server.
That's what Cactuar is now. I don't have to say Cactuar. I just go to the Asmongold server.
Well, that was the one funny thing is like I'm on Midgard and like
that's Rich's server, right?
Yeah, and I get on and I'm like, why is there a queue on Midgard? This was the lowest population
because
one.
8 people running Alex right now.
Yeah, and looking at Rich is on it, and then I saw Asmongold comes over, and then now Summit's on Midgard. So there's always a freaking queue, even at 3 in the morning. and you're just like, it's
on other servers
but it
too.
also sucks. But no, but the queue is only like 100 people. Like I'm being stupid, but no, it's a fun problem to have. And but my other my only real problem with me not finding groups and all that stuff is when it comes to Final Fantasy, since I kind of have a tendency to bounce around between games, I had played it more like as a solo or story based game, and so any of the connections I make during that time generally only last for that time. When I come back in 2 or 3 months, those people have moved on, or it's fizzled out and all that. So yeah, having some people to potentially play with, I'd be more than happy to stop by y'all's group and see how you guys do things.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Yeah,
we try to get as many people worked in as we can. We try to get people through. A lot of times when new content drops, me and the group go crazy on it right away. Then we start working people through it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this MMO.
And I agree, the queue isn't bad. The longest I've had to wait was 15 minutes, and all you have to do is go, oh, I have to raid in 15 minutes.
Yeah, my sister texted me on the free trial, and she goes, well, I was going to play tonight, and she sent me a picture, and it said like 45 in line. I was like, I assume you're already in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just closed the application. I was like, no, that's like that's a 20-second queue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's normal. Even when Asmongold wasn't here, a 45-person.
He's on EU.
I was talking to Chaos Prime today, and he's on EU, and he says that just the increase in that extra active player count has been a huge relief.
And the AFK timer.
And the AFK timer.
30 minutes of dancing and limp set. Kicking you off.
I love the people that are freaking out because of the increased player base. The people that love this being their quiet little MMO, but people don't realize by having so many more players, there's more people to do shit with.
Well, yeah. And as that retention holds and people become a part of the community and ingrained, I think it's just better for MMO players all over, that it's less tribal.
Yeah. Am I going to stay a Dragon Girl or go Bunny Boy? I'm probably going to stay Dragon Girl. The reason I've been Dragon Girl now since Heavensward is because all of my glamour and outfits work for this. They don't work for anything else.
There's 67 million possible combinations of Bunny Boy, and they're all pretty boys. Every single one. They're all beautiful little.
And besides, hold on. I'm curious. What is your guys' playtime? I guarantee you, I got you beat.
Playtime?
Playtime?
Mine's not much at all.
I have 969 days.
Yeah,
in this
you got me.
I'm at like one.
I don't even look at that.
I say casual with all the new players coming in. I'm like, I only have 120 days played. Like, I'm really not that intense of a player. And then people are like, that's like 3,000 hours. I was like, you should trust me. 120 for how long I've been playing this game since A Realm Reborn. 120 days is very casual.
Yeah,
I'm at 196 days. Played.
I'm at 969 days, and there is still stuff I haven't done.
Same here.
But RP is not one of them.
Hell, I didn't even.
I have done that. I made a video.
Yeah, dude. Not RP, ERP.
Oh yeah, he's done that too.
Oh, so fun fact. One of the guys, I found this out. One of the guys that was with me is one of my best friends. Okay, especially in Final Fantasy. We've been playing since 2.0. He was keeping quiet during that because apparently he runs an ERP venue.
Ah.
He told me this after the video went up. He's like, look, I just don't want you to judge me, but I run a venue. I'm like, why didn't you say anything? It would have made the video so much better if they had known we brought an expert with us.
Yeah. Thank God I had my friend here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on that whole popularity of Final Fantasy thing was just from my perspective, I wasn't worried about the negativity of WoW or other games, and Final
14
Fantasy
crushes that stuff. 14 puts those people in jail and bans them. It's a whole different experience.
All the people
not even that. Well, no, what I meant like the negativity around WoW and them thinking the game's not what it should be and all that. But yeah, gotcha. But my thing, it just went into a broader concept, things like video games, comic books, and all that, for decades had a big stigma around it, and it took a long time for all that stuff to become mainstream. And the Asian aesthetic, the Japanese anime and like their style of fantasy games and all that stuff had an even bigger stigma that even the nerds stuck their noses up at. And now we're finally at a stage where nobody like cares about that anymore, and they realize it's actually cool. You know, there's just a huge time
I don't
lag.
classify 14 as an anime RPG like MMO.
Typically, the people that are not worried about being cool, typically the people that are considered a nerd in whatever they're into, they nerd out about cars or sports or games,
Sneakers,
whatever.
Yeah.
They're having way more. They're having way more fun than you. Way more fun than you. Like if they're at a movie and they know everything about it and they're out there being ridiculous and they're in cosplay or whatever, just know they're having more fun than you. So like, just get over it and join them. Like, being a nerd about something, I hope everybody gets to experience being a nerd about something. It doesn't have to be games,
something,
it doesn't have to be comic books. Just nerd out about something. Maybe you're super into woodworking or fitness or whatever. It doesn't matter. Be a nerd.
Outside of those stigmas,
Awesome.
I think the biggest one is, you know, which was true, is there's a great many people that like the European style fantasy thing and just didn't like the idea of the Japanese one, and then now we got all these people that finally gave it a chance.
But 14 isn't a Japanese game. It's just because that's the main headquarters. Like, it's a global franchise.
But that's what I'm saying is that's the stigma around it.
Yeah, true. Like that, the fact that people are playing it now is breaking and removing that stigma for what it was, like a false narrative.
Yeah. So when people are realizing that, no, it's not the type of game, you know, you're picturing in your head. Once you actually start playing, you realize like, oh wow, actually has a pretty rich story, a lot of challenging content, fun stuff to do, and so it's been a lot of fun seeing, you know, like my YouTube feed and other stuff flooded with all these new people coming into the game.
It's great for Final Fantasy. It's so great because in the community watching the content is also great because that then signals to the content creators that this is something that's safe for them to talk about, as opposed to like, this is going to kill your channel and your potential. Like, because for those that are pushing for it for the career, it's like Bellular talked about that today. It's like there are people like in WoW that it's like, or no, that was Asmund, like, why are you like hating on these people? It's like, if they don't stream this one game, like their channel is dead, right? That's how they feel right now. Like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot of pressure that you're like, because we know, like, outside of the people who are like there for you, like no matter what you do, like those people are so rare and awesome, and those are the people hanging out with us right now. But it's like the aspect, it's like, oh, if you're streaming this, like, yeah, and I have no issue with that. I like, that's just the nature of it. I go to the same store to get the same chicken sandwich. I don't need to see your menu. Like, I'm here for the chicken sandwich. What are you doing?
And Bellular kind of hit on it with Matt in their clips channel, where like they talked about how like there's enough here that like anime fans are more likely to like 14 than maybe other games, but that doesn't mean it's the other way around. Like, I don't watch a ton of anime and I love 14, and so like a square can be a rectangle and a rectangle doesn't have to be a square. So is there definitely tributes and fan services to people that like other Final Fantasy games or like other animes and things like that? Absolutely. But it's not a requirement. You do not have to have ever played another Final Fantasy game. You don't even have to like the story in this game. Like, so much of the community, there is so much on the bone. 900 days of playtime, Benny. Like, how many times have you cleared MSQ?
Once.
So what is that? 300 hours of your...
I hate the argument.
What is that, like 20...
The story.
Yeah, that's true.
What is that, 27,000 hours or something like that? And you've spent 300 of those in story?
I got. Well, fuck.
What is that percentage?
Brian, you're dead. I'm sorry, Brian.
So
I'm sorry, Brian.
I got healed. Stop running in the middle. I'm dead. Oh, snap.
We're going to wipe.
We just wiped.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. What went wrong?
We got confused.
We exploded.
What happened there?
Yeah,
Me and Brian got confused because we didn't turn away.
Oh, we're supposed to not look? I didn't see that.
God.
Well, even then we like
let's try again.
Chris and I got all the way down as well, so I don't know what attack did that.
I think there was an explosion.
It was the explosions. Hold on, I got music playing in the back. Cat, goddamn, move. The cat jumped over here and knocked my mouse off. I don't know where it went.
All right.
So do we have to start from 31 again?
Yeah.
Or...
Oh, yeah. but I'm gonna
Gotcha.
use my Confederate.
You got. I
Razor
think
and
you
see
have
what I
to.
got.
I think you have to clear your the run.
Hold on, I have no mouse. I don't know where it went.
Let me get my loot real quick. I got confetti.
I never seem to get anything good from it.
Oh,
I got a
need
bomb boko.
Please don't be. Oh, I got a materia.
We have to reset again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to clear the one with the X.
My cat decided to sit down right where the keyboard is because I was giving it too much
I'm
attention.
cleared.
Oh, yeah, I cleared mine.
A materia 6. What a piece of trash.
So anyway, that boss has a thing that will confuse, which is what we got hit by.
I gotcha.
And then secondly, there was a massive amount of explosions, and you have to be in the right spot, otherwise you get hit by all of them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's what, like, I survived with like 1% health, but I was like, wait a second, like, I wasn't standing in anything as far as I could tell.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can restart it again, but the wife was expecting me to be done by next 30 minutes, so I'm not gonna go all the way up if we don't
Okay.
get
Well,
killed.
let's see how far we get, and then we can pick it up next
Thanks
week
so
or
much
whatever.
For hanging out, Shuri. Shuri, hit me up on Discord if you're looking for help with Eureka. I'll go in with you. I just can't do it tonight.
Absolutely, yeah, because you posted the links in the...
Whoa.
Now I'm nervous. I see eyes. I'm like, oh, I got a turret. So since you still want to play in the free trial mode until you're level 16,
I heard somebody did it, like all of them.
the activation code does not expire if you buy it.
Nope.
Just
Buy
don't
it on sale. Play your free
use
trial.
it. Yeah. So buy it on discount. Play the free trial. The only thing that you might, if you end up getting kicked from the server because it's overloaded, that's the only kind
I'm
of
an otter.
thing to upgrade.
You don't get kicked. You just don't get let in.
Oh, okay.
They're not kicking people off for being in free trial. They're just moving them to the back of the line when it's full.
Get in the back of that bus.
I'm a cute otter.
Oh yeah, all our items were set. No.
Yeah.
That was the other thing
What
is when
what
we
floor
had-
was that? What floor
Yeah,
was that?
that's
50?
like 50.
50.
Yeah, 50.
Okay.
Well, that was the other thing is, I know we've just been bullshitting the whole time, but when we pulled, I was like, oh, did we need to be like using like the damage buffs or the
Not really,
or the
not at that
defense
point.
stuff yet? Or,
We just need to not BS during that boss fight. That's really what it comes down to.
We were like, this is easy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you what?
That's how Heaven on High and Palace of the Dead both work. Like you're like easy, easy, easy. Oh no.
It lulls
Oh, no.
you into a false sense of like, security.
yeah,
Bayface
before we
says they have
exploded,
37 ults. Wow.
Yeah, dear. But no, what I was trying to say before was this is the first MMO that I've mained a healer on. I mained it since ARR as my white mage. And yeah, I just find it kind of like laughing to myself that them coming out with a new healer, for the final expansion. I'm just like, wait, this is awesome. Oh, the final story for this story's expansion, yeah.
Oh god, that hurt.
The demon cat's over here.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to trying out and mastering Sage.
Sage, I'm excited about.
That was a landmine.
Yeah, we've unlocked this spot unless we want to get more boxes. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, I say we just get out of here. We'll get plenty.
But yeah, like white mage has always been my main. I've always liked, like, it feels very fluid as a healer between the healing and DPS, and I hope Sage feels kind of the same way just from the shield aspect, because I like the idea of maining that, or at a bare minimum just kind of doing like what Astro is
That's
right now.
that's the
before it gets
changes I'm
converted
interested
is-
in the most. Is what does Astro look like in Endwalker?
Yeah, because I know it's supposed to be a more heal over time like ours, but how much do they revamp it, because you're getting rid of a ton of skills
Yeah.
and all that, so that would be interesting. So for me, yeah, having being able to swap between my white mage and Sage depending on what's needed will be nice too.
What are you doing, Cat? What are you doing?
I'm here to sit on your keyboard and
she's
chew
like,
bubble gum.
Normally you're upstairs right now. What are you doing?
Yeah, the discounts, it's like, oh, we're having server problems. And by the way, new sale.
We
I love
discussed
it.
bringing the D&D game to audio, Cody, but it's something we'll do when the new channel launches.
I think the sale was probably already planned, and I do think that it's a good look when you talk
Yeah.
about like saying, "Hey, free trial people are in the back of the line," and you're like, "Oh, you're just trying to get me to buy your game." It's like, actually, it's discounted. Like, so I think it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a good look.
Yeah.
I love this game so much.
Ooh, I made it too dark. Or did I not? How does that work? How's that?
I don't know what you're trying.
Me?
Yeah. In your room.
I'm trying to... You see what I'm doing?
Let me see. Pull up the stream.
Oh, too bright. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. I was changing up the lighting just a little to see if it'll make me pop better because I had it red.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing. Whoa. Yeah, there's the lag.
When I made it dark, it looked nice, but it lags because it's trying to like compensate, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm using a real camera. Like I can pull this thing down and you're gonna be like, holy shit, that lens.
I've constantly I have no idea what like I would upgrade. I just upgraded my audio setup. So I was like, all right.
If you do a camera upgrade, the problem with a camera upgrade is that a C20 920 that everyone uses is like $100.
Right.
And to make a
I
functional
got mine for
thing,
40.
like a microphone setup is like Blue Yeti is 100 and a Shure is 300. Okay,
Yeah.
it's expensive, but the gap isn't large.
Right.
The camera changeover, you need to get a camera, a lens, and a cam link. You're looking at like 800 to 1,000 for a reasonable one.
I just got the GoL XR and then like the SB whatever mic, and I think I'm really enjoying the setup because I can run in like your audio and be able to kind of like talk with chat and not have it impact you guys, and it's like it's really nice.
Yeah. We're doing a big overhaul on the set right now over at the podcast room. So I stole one of the cameras.
Like, I own all
It pays
these.
to be the boss sometimes.
It does.
Who's gonna call me out?
Like you have a meeting with yourself in the mirror, like Yoshi P.
Yeah.
Like,
You
hey,
really shouldn't bring that home.
hey Yoshi P, should we do a collab with 16? And Yoshi P goes, Yes.
Oh, I'm excited for the new Nier game, the mobile one. But it's so funny. They're like, yeah, and Nier Reincarnation, which is actually Nier 3 in chronological order. It's the actual third Nier. It's gonna have a collaboration with Nier Automata. Oh, that was probably real challenging to pull off, guys. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's really easy to notice when you come to my smaller streams, Cody. Thank you for being here. He was just saying he's shocked that I noticed
Whole
him.
floor like dead ended.
I get that from time to time when someone's like, oh, he's actually responding to me. It's like, I mean, that's the goal. Like, I don't ever want somebody to come in and say hi, and it's like I don't see it, and I feel bad when I miss it.
Yeah, when I used to be a Warframe partner, I would do my streams like 150, 200, and then we'd get rated by Warframe.
Oh wow.
And they drop like 8,000 people in your chat.
Yep.
And I never liked it. Like on a business side, this is amazing.
Yeah.
On a purpose of me streaming, which is just kind of having a fun conversation with people in chat, it was terrible. Like I couldn't do anything.
It depends on your goal. You know, like I view stream as like where I would like my 8 to 2 Monday through Friday streams to be is I would like them to be a long-term goal for me right now. The current trajectory, the moon that I'm currently aiming for is I would love it to be a produced radio show, just like when you get in your car and you turn on the radio. And that doesn't mean constant interaction. There's live call-ins, there's song requests, there's things like that, but it's not really interaction. You're there to listen, and it's during the workday. And so for a lot of people, like a huge portion of the people that watch me don't have the ability to interact. Some of them are literally driving trucks for a living or sitting in an office and they're in and out. And so like that's what I would like that to be. And so, you know, a raid like that, it doesn't have any impact on, I guess, the final production, because the production isn't chat interaction. But like on Friday nights like this, yeah, I just want to sit here and hang out.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the people aren't chatting very much, but I assume they're kind of enjoying our conversation. And to answer your question, AJ, it's a red gun. The weapons in here, when they're max level, glow red. That's it. He was like, is it a sword, or is it a gun sword, or is it a flame? I'm like,
it's
just
a
red.
gun sword.
It's a red gun.
We've gunned everything. It's a gun sword and a gun shield. And we've
And while these guys are arguing that this isn't a very anime game, let me show you gun kata. What the? I'm gonna flip. Whoop-a!
Yeah, I mean,
Cartwheel.
Pearly, like how you listen. So I think, that's the beauty of Twitch, is a lot of times, especially when we see a pivot in Twitch, the hot tub streams was one of the more recent pivots is by a portion of the community, is people assume that the platform is the thing that they use it for. And so, but it's not. Like this weekend, I'm going to watch the No Clip documentary, and we're going to talk about Final Fantasy XIV for 6 hours. And logically, in my mind, the directory that you would do that in is the Final Fantasy XIV directory.
Thanks.
But
Thanks, Kai.
Like, that means I'm probably going to stream for 6 hours on Sunday in the Final Fantasy XIV directory, talking about Final Fantasy XIV to new and veteran players alike. And I probably won't even boot the game up. And that's
You gotta have it on the back.
that's not it's not a wrong way to do it. It's not about it's not that binary.
Of course, it's in that goddamn room.
Yeah. I was trying to look in there when we first dropped to see if I could see the circle, and I couldn't. And then I'm like, oh, it's because it's hidden behind 20 mobs. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I should light it. Yep. There we go.
I know another
This
topic,
expansion in particular was very Eastern inspired.
The Stormblood. That's where it's like I'm really excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying our our Heaven on High stuff,
Area.
and I'm like, I really can't wait to see what.
Stormblood the most.
I think Stormblood for me redeemed itself with Bosia. Like it all brought it together.
Stormblood. You mean just because we go back to the
narrative,
yeah, kind of wrapping things up.
Yeah, and then that tying into Ishgard at like the Evil East raid, and it's like I felt like very respected in terms of story, and like because I felt like Stormblood was like, where's the Stormblood? Where's the war? Like it was
all world building and setup for the war, which is why I disliked it, because I felt like at that point, like going from Heavensward to this, we should have gotten to the war, not more set up for the war.
Right? And that's why I was like,
it works out fine, because now it just feels like the filler season of an anime, because we have Shadowbringers and we're going into Endwalker. But at the time, it was like, oh, so we're just gonna drag this out.
There was no Asians. Like it was like what's happening? Like we just left Heavensward, and so I was all. But then it's like when Evil East all connected, I felt really respected. Like I don't know if they'll do anything with the near raid, and if they do, that's going to be amazing. But like I just feel like, all right, I'm looking forward to Mists of the Realm more than I enjoyed the content of Nier, but the world building of it, I was like, it just kind of felt like, yeah, it's over on the first. There's androids over there. All right.
My thing is, I enjoyed visiting the new areas and like being outside of Eorzea for the first time and all that. I can't ever remember his name, the big bad guy in him.
Xenos?
Oh, Xenos.
He was talking spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking. They're in Heavensward.
That's true. Very true,
yeah,
Melissa.
About to talk spoilers. Should I stop?
Yeah.
I would, just because we're not in an area in the game where we should be doing that. Like we're in a safe space if you're worried about spoilers. I remember one time I had my house set up to praise one of the people that passed away at the end of A Realm Reborn. And I went downstairs and someone freaked out in my chat. They're like, how dare you? That's spoilers for the main story. And I'm like, the main story came out 6 years ago, man. At this point, I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say? Like,
there's a big difference between like theory crafting around the lore and like being in a dungeon, right? Like if you're in a dungeon and seeing the boss, like that kind of is what it is. And a lot of people, like, they're happy to do that. They're happy to come in. They don't know what they're looking at, so like, it doesn't spoil anything unless you point it out. Like unless you're like, oh, the theory behind what I'm fighting right now. That's very different than saying like, stuff that's not obvious on the screen. And so, I think there's a fair bit there. Like my sensitivity to spoilers, like if I'm watching your stream, I expect to see gameplay, and so anything that would be in gameplay, what I don't expect is for you to be like, yeah, and let me reveal the end of Sixth Sense. It's like, whoa, that is not my quick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And to answer your
Spoilers
question,
never
AJ,
bothered me.
The 6-hour Final Fantasy XIV thing. Where will that be held, Chris? He wants to know.
Where would what be held?
The 6-hour Final Fantasy XIV thing you're going to talk about doing.
Oh, Sunday, 8 a.m. on my Twitch channel. Works a game with the number 2. Brian and I's Twitch.
Oh yeah.
And I
I assume it'll take me 6 hours because it's 2 hours long and reaction content. I typically talk enough that I triple the runtime of whatever I'm watching.
And then and through August, the first 2 weeks, Chris is going on a little vacation, so I'm going to be taking over morning streams over on Work to Game. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's
I'll
going
watch
to
them finally.
Oh, burn on Chris. Burn.
Get that guy out of here.
Yeah.
And AJ, I normally stream Final Fantasy XIV on my Twitch channel on Sunday mornings, Comic Strain Gaming. I'm debating doing a dual stream this week, though, just doing it on here on
52
Sunday.
minutes later.
It's funny because I tested a dual stream today, and my chat was like, "Eddie, you're gonna break your contract to Twitch," and I'm like, "But I don't care about the contract to Twitch, and this will bring more attention to it." Like,
I wonder if that will change. We were talking at the beginning before everybody joined in. It's like right now YouTube, it's like they're slowly seeding these things, and they really haven't communicated. And I'm just wondering if we'll see them like actually be like, oh, all these like things that everybody else has and we haven't had and we haven't really talked about, they're all here now. Like if they just launched like YouTube Live or something like that, where it's like, yeah, all right, you want those features? So do we. All right, thanks.
That was one thing for the longest time that
YouTube we've been posting to for 5 years.
I'm not holding my breath. I'm just sitting here like all right, and then it's giving people an option and choice. I don't know.
Well, that was one thing that I just wondered about for a long time. Why, Twitch is, of course, the big go-to streaming platform and all that, but why YouTube didn't be like, well, they're posting their Twitch videos on our YouTube to go back to their channel, like why didn't they get bigger into that?
YouTube added shorts, and the best use of shorts is what our experience has been as far as shorts pointing towards videos or anything like that. Is the most successful use of shorts, at least for us, is to promote Twitch streams. So I don't really understand what's going on. I
had to be real quick in the middle, so if this is answered, you can just tell me to stop. But I actually don't understand the whole Twitch banning. I understand the concept of a banning the exclusive, but the problem is, okay, so my Twitch channel on Twitch, which has a contract, gets me maybe $200, $300 a month, which isn't terrible at all. I'm not going to deny that. Okay. But the potential reach I get by doing a dual stream versus that money is so much better.
So much better. Yeah.
It depends on how you're looking at it.
I think it depends. So I think that depends on, if you're somebody like Asmongold, right? And they have 24-hour exclusive rights before his clips can be published. And in trade for that, he is about to cross over 37,000 subscribers. When you cross over 1,000 non-Prime subscribers, you have the ability to do, in theory, there's rumors, it's not super public at that point because of NDAs, you have the ability to start renegotiating. So it's not even the $2.50 of $5, it becomes a higher payout rate for the person. So he's getting more than $2.50 times 37,000. So, for those of you
you're 100% right. And
that's
if Twitch is your career, you're right, 100%.
Something very.
That'd be like if I went to YouTube and they were like, "Hey, you can't do that, or we're gonna potentially reduce your rates on YouTube." No, YouTube's my career. I'm not gonna mess that up.
So as a YouTuber, I can understand why you're like, well, if you don't want me to have a check mark, don't have a check mark. Now for Brian and I, when I did want to, I know I really enjoy making live content, and Brian's definitely found a joy in it when it makes sense, and so for us. What we found when they first added the ability to start pushing YouTube streaming, we actually found that algorithmically, because we published so much on Work to Game, it was damaging our channel. And so we needed to change that somewhere. And so in the meantime, we discovered Twitch, and so it's kind of like I understand it's gotten better, but now I'm here, so it's too little, too late, right?
I mean, and for me right now, the weird position I'm in is I abandoned my Twitch channel because I just couldn't do it anymore. So I abandoned it 8 months ago. Yeah. So now it's in a weird place where I can go live and get 150 viewers. I can go live and get 30. I have no idea what I'm gonna get anymore. And so with that being the thing and the income having dropped to $200, $300, it's like, what's more worth it to me? Potentially building up 2 platforms or getting $200, $300 and like mentally depressing myself because I see 20 viewers.
I think you're hitting on the point that like these are platforms and their goal is to use you for content.
Right.
And so just like an employer, your goal should be to use them back. And so like when you sit in an interview for a job, you should not be answering their questions about whether or not you're a good fit and then walking out. You should also be taking that as an opportunity to see if they're a good fit for you. So what are their policies on things that matter to you? You know, are you going to be able to use your vacation around holidays that are important to you? Are you going to be able to have a good work-life balance? Is there opportunities to move forward? Are you going to get to work on the things that the job description looks like? What level of autonomy are you going to have? These are all questions you should be asking them at the same time that they're trying to say, hey, I see your resume, but I have follow-up questions. And so it's exactly the same with content creation. What you're aiming to get out of YouTube and Twitch is different than what Brian and I are aiming to get out of it, or what like Mr. Happy, who predominantly is on Twitch and then kind of just pushes things over to YouTube.
The biggest problem I have with Twitch is the way the platform is structured. You don't get breaks, period. You have to set yourself a 9 through 5 job, whatever hours you actually pick is up to you, but you have to pick yourself a 9 to 5 job. You have to pick set days. You have to be there all the time. There's no option around it. There's nothing else you can do. And that's my problem with Twitch. If you do anything off stream, off time, you're screwed. And for me, coming from the YouTuber side over to the Twitch side, YouTube, I literally... One more is fine. We can do one more set.
Are you sure? Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay,
It's like
I was
10
like,
to 15, so.
Cool. I just didn't want to put us in. You're like, oh, I only got 10 minutes. So yeah, let's keep going.
No, we're good. And the problem that I ran into it coming from YouTube to Twitch, by the time I went to Twitch and was treating it like an actual job, I was already a success on YouTube. And that allowed me to set my own schedule however I wanted it to be. Hey, I'm going to work Monday through Wednesday, take 2 days off, get back into it Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to take a 4-day weekend. I can do whatever I want on YouTube. So when I got hardcore into Twitch and started doing it for like the 3 to 4 year period where I literally did it on a scheduled basis every other day, I was there for 6 to 7 hours. It just mentally started beating me down because and what I realized is I'm not a Twitch streamer. I'm not. Because when I couldn't think of a game to play, it stressed me out so much. Yeah. Like, I couldn't think of the content. And when YouTube happens, like right now, I screwed up Comic Story. I fucked up the algorithm. But I can fix it. And I know how to fix it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but on Twitch, okay, I lost all of my viewers from Final Fantasy because I took a break to go play Subnautica, and they're not coming back. I don't know how to fix that. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't figure it out. So for me, going back to YouTube and doing primarily YouTube streaming allows me to stream whenever I want, and then it makes a VOD, and people on YouTube are used to watching VODs. While on Twitch, they don't give a shit about your VOD. Like,
you've also built a community that's used to consuming long form content on YouTube, and so like you've built so I think there's probably people like Mr. Happy that if he screwed up his channel algorithmically on YouTube, it would be easier for him to get back to basics and start on the streaming end, and then let the YouTube kind of catch up. So I think a lot of that is also you're leaning into your skill set. For me, my wife works full time in the home, and we're dual income, no kids, and so when I'm not working, the goal of this job is that I would be able to have dinner with her and have evenings and weekends with her. And she's out of town this weekend, which is why I'm doing so much like weekend content.
More content.
And so I'm having a lot of fun sharing this weekend with you guys. But the moment she's back, I'm going to go back to not doing that. And so for me, streaming makes a lot of sense because people are like, well, doesn't that obligate you to do a work schedule? I'm already on a work schedule because my wife is on a work schedule, and so I'm already working this, and I like making comparison style content. That's what I enjoy making. And to make comparison style content, you have to be aware of the content. You have to actually be aware. And so at some point I have to play the game. And so why not share the time that I want to be live with the community during that time? And then why not schedule it for the hours that my wife said, hey, you should work during these hours.
You can make it work, and you can for me. As much as I want to say I'm the same guy on and off stream, and I'm telling the chat right here, I am the same guy personality-wise, but the difference is if I'm not streaming, I'm going to be vegging out. I'm going to be watching a YouTube video. I'm going to be calming down. So for me, the argument of like, well, I'm going to play it anyway and might as well stream gets thrown out because I can't relax. This isn't relaxing for me. It is to a level, but not the level of I'm going to watch this stupid YouTube video or this anime and just veg out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm very extroverted, and this is a very lonely career. So
I agree with you 100%, but I've also surrounded myself with 10 people that I talk with daily. So
yeah, that's definitely a big help. Chris has me right now. So it's like...
exactly. And I remember the early days where it was me and a guy named Rob and a guy named Sal. We had no teams. And we talked amongst each other. And I don't talk to them nearly as much anymore because I do have a 9-person staff I deal with.
Yeah.
Like my entire morning, even I'm technically on vacation right now, and my entire morning is still talking to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking 2 weeks off at the beginning of August because I want to move to the other office, and so I need to have the ability to have my rig like taken apart because I have a stand desk.
I'm actually going out of town next week. I'll be back Friday morning.
Okay.
I didn't say anything, Brian.
Roger.
I decided this week I actually busted my ass and worked my butt off Monday through Thursday so I could take a long weekend before vacation.
Nice, dude. Sometimes, like, I always kind of like, I never like my parents would take us on vacations where literally we were like rolling back into town and dropping me off at school, and it was so stressful. And I'm sure it was stressful on my dad.
I got 4 days on the backside too.
It's
I got
like,
4 days on the backside.
You gotta like, I just need to chill. I just want some That's what Julie's taking me to go float the river for my birthday next month, and my birthday's this month, but we're going next month, and we're gonna go just float. And I was like, she's like, what do you want? I was like, honestly, I just want to chill. I just really want some like quiet. I don't want to change a diaper, and I just want to go sit in on a river for several hours and maintain a light buzz. That sounds great. That sounds oh no, we lost Chris. All right, good deal. Yeah, like we were talking with Chris Blevins, and he used to be a big streamer before his his brother blew up, and like it was just like he's talked about like just like anxiety that he would get, like, and before it just didn't happen, but then all of a sudden it's just like, oh man, like I should be streaming when it's like, but then that's where it's like he wasn't like Chris where he's like, no, this is my schedule, like I'll play games
outside of H2.
Yeah. Like
I agree with that 100%. I don't like the schedule, and for me, I'm a creative person. So for me, it was like, oh, our 14 streams are going to be this kind of a focus.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do Subnautica. It's going to be this kind of a content, and then we're going to do this. It's going to be this kind of a content. And what happened is, I like between things I wouldn't know what to do, and it'd give me so much anxiety. And so
it's not worth it.
If I get anxiety or depression, because I deal with a lot of things from the old days in the army, and if I get those in my position, I just take the day off. But if I'm streaming, I don't feel like I can, and that becomes problematic for me.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I would love to build something.
I'm not trying to get a pity card. Don't worry, Brian. I have a system that I do to get through it all, so it's not even an issue. That's why you never really hear about it.
Do you care to share? Because I've got blue days that I like. For me, it's like exercise and shower.
It's exercise primarily.
Yeah.
So I have been to Iraq and Afghanistan for a total of 3 years. And I went during the surge in 2006, 2007, where it was a lot went down. So a lot of mornings I wake up in a pretty bad mindset, and for me, if I just get some cardio in and some lifting, it'll clear my head normally.
Yeah.
And so if I don't get to work out for a couple of days, sometimes if you just stand
dog
here,
mean something?
stand here.
Dog means something, right?
Yep. There you go. We're good.
Oh yeah. Thought it did.
Yeah, that's been my trick. Like whenever I'm like, oh man, I call it just a blue day, and it's like, and then it's
happens.
like exercise.
I'm way past the point where it really beats me down.
Yeah.
But I do get in my own head sometimes, and I've noticed that if I can really just like push myself physically, I'll clear up.
Oh, dude, 100%. I've been sick this week, and it's just like I'm looking forward to hopefully being back and able, like on Saturday or Sunday, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit the gym. I set it up so that I can take Maddie and Annie, so they have like a little like kids place that they can kind of like play, and they're like, okay, Dad, when are you going back to the gym? I'm like, all right. I'm excited that they liked it, and I don't know.
We're good.
Okay. I think
Oh
so.
yeah, it's good idea.
But
for
it's
this one.
it's just yeah, it's for me exercise. Also sometimes just like setting a simple task, and a simple task can be just like I take a shower. You know, it's like all right, I just need to get a win. All right, what can I win?
Yeah.
All right.
I put my entire schedule. I put everything I need to do on a list. So
Yeah.
if I do need that win, like, oh, this project's not going well, I pick something I can do, and okay, we're done. That knocked out.
Yeah.
I feel better. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
To answer a couple of questions real quick. Yes, I will do Final Crisis and Deeper event. We're slowly going through a lot of the older stories, Alex. And Jimmy, to get these weapons, you do the event we're doing. It's called Heaven on High. And they have a whole system to get these weapons, but it's strictly glamour now.
Yeah, this is just fun for fun's sake.
It's for fun's sake to get the mount, the armor, glamour, and the weapons. Pals of the Dead is the one that has no goal. That's the one for fun.
You just do it to say I made it to the top.
Yeah, there's not even an achievement. There's not even like a title or nothing. We'll get
Really?
we'll get a title for this one.
That's my thing. I don't care regardless. I want to make it to the top once and be like, just to say I could do it.
Yeah. That's the goal. It's like, what have we not? What have I not? Like, I'm coming up on 200 days played. Like, all right, let's look at some of this other stuff. You know,
I'd love to get an E12S clear.
oh, dude, that'd be sweet.
So Lamatad has been my Sherpa through Eden Savage this tier. I don't know if he's, willing to obligate himself to being my Savage clear for all of time. It's like, hey,
If he
congrats
won't,
on
I've got you, Chris. I've got
So.
you. You can't see me right now, but I'm putting my hand on my heart. I've got you, my friend. I'll get you through DR Savage first, and then we'll start working through the other ones, okay?
But if there's
So.
only one spot, you take me first and he's the backup.
Chris,
Being in
you've
here
already
saying
been
that
bumped.
I've been
apologize.
getting 9 through. So I've been getting Diamond Extreme 9 through 11. I've been getting those in like one lockout. I think 10 took us just slightly into the second lockout. Diamond Extreme fell in like the second or third pull. And so like I assume 12 is going to be a real slap in the face.
12's annoying because it has a gate boss.
But the
like
question
most
is also like
games.
how many new people are with me, because most of these parties I haven't been the only new player. Yesterday, Dave Greco, who's an artist in the 14 community, we were the two tanks, and 11 is there's some tank mechanics in 11 that really aren't very forgiving. And so like Todd was trying to teach us like maximum uptime. I was like, Todd, 2/3 of the powder marks, one of us is dying. Like uptime is not our focus.
Yeah.
Surviving is the focus.
Like, I'm losing all sorts of uptime because I'm laying face down for a phase every once in a while.
Does anyone in chat remember how to unlock Machinist? You gotta be level 30. I know
You gotta
that.
be in. You actually have to be in Heaven's Word,
Heaven's
and then you
Word.
just go
Okay, so
talk
you
to
need a
the
60 then. Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually have to get and finish all of ARR and the extra patches. So once you get into Ishgard, you can go talk to all the job quest people. So you just go in there and talk to them, and then you become a machinist. Like, I'm glad they fixed that, because the new jobs are great, and the fact that they had those jobs locked behind the expansion, it's like, oh man, because they could have continued the story. Like, you could say, yeah, you can get into machinist, but if you like, you can't. If you want the quests that take place at this point, like, you got it, those continue in Heaven's Word. But they learned their lesson, and they haven't done that since.
Oh yeah, because I saw like someone being a samurai. I was like, wait a second, you're still in ARR right now or something.
Yeah, as long as you like get to like the level, the job requirements.
Samurai
for
Red
Merciless.
Mage was kind of weird, but like Sage won't be that, so that won't become like, oh, you get out of AR and you
Where's
start to
Dancer? I don't remember what Dancer was at this point.
60.
In theory, we're going for floor 100. In theory, we're going for floor 100. Probably not tonight. I think
Not tonight. No.
Not tonight.
I just realized
We can,
that.
but this group will save and we'll come back.
Yeah, I'll keep the save. Don't worry.
Yeah, perfect.
We'll go again.
Where were Gunbreaker and Dancer? Were they on the first or no? They were back in the main areas. Weren't
Back
they?
in the main areas. So all you needed is
Yeah.
the level like a level 60, and so for Sage, all you'll need is a level 70, and then you can pick it up and start from there.
Oh yeah,
We're
I
kind
got
of
that.
dicking around the first clear through, and we died on floor 50. So we at some point we've got to
We learned our
at
lesson.
least,
We
at
learned
least
our
be
lesson.
aware that
Actually,
at least be
seriously.
aware that mechanics might be for something slightly more than cars. We did not respect the floor.
I feel very embarrassed because I've cleared through this multiple times and I didn't say, "Hey guys, focus up." I was just like, "Oh, whatever, fuck it." Don't. Nope. No. Or okay.
Nope. We're doing it. We're doing it live.
I altered the room. We can go around that. Or over here. It's probably over here, honestly.
All right. Chuck, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not worried about.
Nope, it's past them. So just hug the right wall. We can get around them.
Okay.
That's my thing is, you know, I didn't know how far we'd get or not, but if anything, you know, I know Chris and Brian just a little bit, but making a new potential friend has been quite awesome as well.
You're taking some leaps, my friend.
Oof.
Hey, well, we'll start with semi-acquaintance first.
I already like you better than Chris, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Unfortunately, that doesn't give you very much standing.
For the first year that I knew Brian and Chris, I just assumed Chris hated me and Brian liked me.
I think that's that's the general.
Just the way you
I think that's just the general.
So my wife says that my she describes me as a condescending tool.
Yes.
Like, I mean it fondly, and I was like, neither of those words is good.
That's not. That's not.
What do you mean you mean it fondly?
You came across as kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I guess he's just not a fan, you know, like me as a friend or whatever. But Brian seems chill, so whatever. I'll keep coming back. But you were very standoffish for like the first year, and you were just jumping out to go do other work and stuff. So I was like, I can't figure out if he's just really dedicated to working or he really doesn't like me.
Well, I met you during Stormblood, and during Stormblood, I had a job that I was working like 6 to 7 days a week. And like even would take a phone call in the middle of like singing happy birthday to my nephew. Like it was overwhelming my life. So I believe that I was literally just like mid-conversation walking out of the room because I was doing that like at like an anniversary dinner with my wife. I was like, hey, I have to take this. She was a real fan of that. She really adored me making that the ultimate priority in our lives, especially because that job also treated me incredibly poorly. And so the time she did get with me, I was worn out, frustrated, and had to vent. And so that really just made our limited time together just massively enjoyable.
I know how that could be, and that's why I never really like chalked it up to like, oh, he really doesn't like me.
But the thing that makes me laugh about that, but the thing that makes me laugh about that is that like that's the general first impression a lot of people like have, and I'm like, I was like, Chris is actually a really great guy, like, but it's just funny because people are like, you know, it's interesting like now that we really position Work the Game as a channel as that collab discussion. Like we really now see I really like Brian or I really like Chris. Like we get the people who like us both, which is awesome. But it's like there's definitely like
there'll be seasons to it, I assume. Like when I watched Vlogbrothers, I liked John more than Hank for like the first year of watching their content, and then I really started to look forward to Hank posts, and so like you know, I appreciate it as a collaborative effort. You know, I feel the same about watching like Good Mythical Morning. So like, there's only a handful of channels that are really collaborative like that.
Yeah.
That I watch.
Well, we get that all the time because I do a bunch of channels with one of my co-hosts, one other comic book channel, and I'll get the comments like, Benny, can you do shows without Sal there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like I have a whole channel where I do that. What are you talking
exactly.
about?
Yeah, that's the beauty of multi-channel.
People don't Google anything today. So the CrossFit Games start next week, and I was watching the predictions on like what
Super Spells gets it
because because the guy who won 5 times in a row, he retired last year. So there's this post about like which guy is going to take the throne, and like one of the top comments is like, "Wow, way to focus on the guys. Could you talk about the girls?" And like literally the post
go
on
kill,
CrossFit
go kill. I hit the
that.
wrong one. Go kill, go crazy, go crazy. They're stone, they're one shot. Just go. I hit the wrong one.
And so literally, what? They are not stone.
I hit frailty. Should be stoned. What is that one? Oh, weakens. That should have been stoned. Oh, that's petrified. My bad. But they're still weakened.
they're stoned.
Like, people don't. And it comes
no
from.
worries, Colin.
We have so much to process in society, right? We have so much going through in our lives that like I just don't have time to Google something. So it's like I read the headline. It was 5 paragraphs. That seems too much. I'll just put my assumption in the comments. And so you end up with people being like, "Don't you ever do this? Did you click on the videos tab? You know, like how come all you guys do is complain about Final Fantasy XIV? Have Have you seen?
That's
any of our other
the
videos?
algorithm though, because I honestly think that the algorithm feeds people
Oh, you're gonna die.
what they want to like see or not see in this regards. Because it's like
I got you.
literally
Wrap.
oh, all y'all ever do is X. It's like
Pop your
interesting.
release.
You only pop in for those videos, and they only happen like what, once a year, once every 2
Yeah.
years. All right.
I want to run down a couple questions. Somebody wants to start
Yeah.
with a healer. Would you guys recommend Sage when it comes out?
I
no.
recommend
If
White
you're gonna do
Mage.
Sage, I would recommend unlocking Sage and then go run something that's like below level 24, Sastasha, Copperbell, Temptara, something like that. Go run
Ease
that
into it.
first, and then ease into it. And if that's easy, jump to a dungeon that's in the 30 or 40 range. Other than like, don't do like Stone Vigil or Arm Veil because they're
Yeah.
really freaking hard.
If you've already been
Uh,
healing, I think you'll be fine. But if you're like, it's like, oh, this is my
You
first
do
healer.
Start
Like,
small.
yeah, start small. Don't stress yourself out.
You're gonna get
And AJ,
confused
you don't have
anyway.
to worry about Final Fantasy lore. The games are all separate. And if you want to catch up on Final Fantasy XIV lore, Comic Historian's got a great series of videos.
Yeah, it does. That it does.
And how do you get Summoner? I don't remember. How do you get Summoner?
Summoner starts off as Arcanist. So once you hit Arcanist to level 30, you can actually take on Summoner and Scholar. So,
Only job in the game that works like that, they actually share an experience pool. So you get 2 for 1. So if you level as a summoner or you level for a scholar or you jump back and forth, they actually share an experience. So like I've been leveling as scholar. And so as my scholar gets closer and closer to level 80, once I hit level 80, my summoner will just be there. I'll have to do the job quest for that side of things, but it'll just be ready and waiting.
Yep.
Super cool.
And what was the last thing I was gonna relay over? Yes, but that is Summoner. Yeah, I've had a lot of.
Dome and Castle. I
Yeah.
think like the burn is really hard. So like avoid the dungeons that are really hard if you're trying to learn through a job. But there's
Yeah.
plenty of dungeons that don't punch as hard.
Oh, we're
and
good, we're good,
Juicy,
we're good.
and Juicy, if you haven't seen Benny's latest channel, absolutely PlayStation and Steam games, like be sure to check that one out as well. Like he's been really kind of pushing more and more into his gaming content and passion.
Yeah, was
I
it
just went
a
comics for too long.
yeah? What Sage and Scholar are gonna be your shield healers for the next expansion?
Yeah.
So they work differently than the standard healer most people are used to. So the closest one that, you know, like if you're coming from like WoW or any other game for a standard healer really would be the White Mage.
Yeah.
So yeah, because shield healing you have to be preemptive. You don't have to
Sweet.
so much.
Now that's actually why I'm
with all your
excited
stuff,
about
so.
it, because with Storm Shadowbringers, like we saw so much homogenization with healers. That's why White Mage really became the clear winner, because there wasn't enough to really differentiate it, and the numbers and the play style, and it just was like, why wouldn't I be on a White Mage? So the fact that they're bringing back kind of the barrier healer concept, and then I think that's just ultimately going to be really exciting to see.
This is the last boss we can BS during.
Okay, got it.
This is the one we can burn. We burned it last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to get knocked into the green things again. Last
Yep.
time I thought we could kill it in time. That was a mistake. I popped a strength anyway, just to give me 30% extra healing.
Yep. That's fine. Strength and steel are kind of whatever.
Oh, Bing, we're about to die. Oh my god.
Bum, 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 bum,
And
bow.
beat you all.
Yeah, very true. Well, Benny, dude, thanks so much for and thank your wife for letting you come and play. And
I don't know if we all have plus 99.
we will
I
push.
think Benny has plus 99.
We will,
I
we'll
do
continue
now.
to push.
I burned in some.
I
grips
think
last
Brian said he was at like plus 50, and like that's only available once you get so high. Anyway,
Now,
so I don't
now
know
I'm
if
plus
Brian-
60 something. So it's like
So he might be
like
might
all
be
this
synced.
has been really leveling and pushing me forward. So at the end of the day, like we've overall, like this was a good leveling and good practice and a good team synergy run. So it's like
got- yeah,
honestly
Oregon
very
Revelation.
very pleased with this. This was a lot of fun.
I had a
always
blast with it.
do
Thank you guys
that,
so much for inviting me along. It's always fun hanging out
Yeah.
with you guys. And it was nice meeting a new friend.
Yes.
Oh yes, friend. That's right. We'll use that term loosely.
And
It's
I'll see
a-
Sunday.
friends
Sunday
on a
7.
trial. Fun.
Yep, Sunday 7 Eastern. Just make sure you go in there and click your class so that they can put you in the roster. And I'll hit you guys up ahead of time just to kind of make sure.
Okay.
That's gonna be
I'm
exciting.
gonna bounce out of this
If
chat.
you don't care about my
Take it.
performance, I can run this.
I didn't hear that last
whatever
part. Was
cost,
that
whatever
7
role you
Central
want.
or 7 some other time?
They said
7
Eastern.
Eastern.
7 okay,
I talk you
okay,
Eastern
gotcha.
normally, just to make it simple.
2 months.
Okay,
Thank you,
gotcha.
Dan.
So 6 my time. Gotcha. Sounds good. So I'll get on that Discord and try to find that stuff.
I'll
All right,
watch
sounds good.
and
If you
cheer
have any
along.
questions, just hit me up. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
See you guys.
See it.
Cool.
That was definitely fun.
That was a
Yeah.
good time. That definitely was a good time. It's like 11:15. So that's probably gonna be it for me too. I think it's a good stopping point.
Oh
So I
yeah,
can get
this
some
is
sleep.
normally when I get off.
Yeah.
Guys,
that's-
I'm actually going to send you guys on to Rin. Rin is doing a phase temperance heaven on high speed clear. So if you want to go see how this content is meant to be done, Rin is always happy to teach. So go say hello to him.
All right,
He's
guys.
delightful. I will be back Sunday. We're going to do a bonus stream 8 a.m. We're going to be watching the No Clip documentary, and then Sunday night I'll stream Deliver 'em Savage with Vinny. Mondays we'll start back normal week schedule of 8 a.m. and we'll charge into next week. I think next Friday we might be doing this, and then
Yeah.
also I'll probably be trying to look and see if Todd has a night sometime available next week to be doing E12. If he does, then I will announce that as soon as possible. So lots of bonus streams while my wife's out of town. So you know,
Oh,
you guys
baby.
can root. You can root for our marriage to have more distance in it, so that you have more content. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. And then I like
Have a
what
great
Juicy
night.
says here. Have a good night, gamers. Have a good night, gamers. We love you.